Live from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's the National Football League on CBS. Today's game features the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome back to Tampa. Spectacular day, 76 degrees and sunny at kickoff time. Dick Vermeil in his 4th year as the head coach in Kansas City, and his team has been smoking. Last week they destroyed Indianapolis 45-35. On the other sideline, John Gruden's team is coming off of a bye, but prior to that they defeated the Chicago Bears. So let's take a look at the series. No, Kansas City leads the series as Martin Gramatica prepares to kick it away. And Dante Hall, the dangerous one, is back deep. Kansas City leads the series 5 games to 3, and we're underway from Tampa. Here's Dante Hall from the goal line. And Hall with the seam, and he gets to the 23-yard line. Flag on the play. Greg Camilla with the tackle on special teams. Ron Winter, your referee today.
There is no infraction on the play. First down, Kansas City.
All right, so here's Trent Green last week versus the Colts. Unbelievable performance, 27 of 34, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And this Kansas City offense is stunning. Willie Rowe, the left tackle, he's one of the best in the business. Will Shields, the right guard, also a multiple Pro Bowler. Tony Gonzalez, the tight end, leads the team in receptions. 1st and 10 at the 23. Here's Priest Holmes over the left side, and he picks up a couple. 3 yards on the play. The Bucs defense allowed only 167 total yards, racked up 4 sacks against the Bears a couple of weeks ago. Simeon Rice had 2. He's got 4 on the season, 3 shy of 100 for his career. And the linebackers, Brooks, one of the best in the NFL, quarrels and goals. And in the secondary, Rondé Barber, that's Tiki's brother, is a terrific right corner. 2nd and 7 at the 26. Here's the pitch to Holmes, cutting back, and Priest Holmes drilled at the 32. Greg Spires with the tackle. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones as Priest Holmes gained 7 yards. When Kansas City has the football, BJ, what should we pay attention to?
Well, Gus, the Chiefs, it all boiled down to Holmes is where the heart is. That's the heart of this offense, and you've seen it the first couple plays of the game. Stick with your strength. That's running the ball. Tampa Bay is going to have to put an extra safety in the box and get out of that Tampa 2 that they play to be able to get another guy in there to try to stop Holmes.
Priest Holmes averaging 833 total yards rushing this year, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, picks up 3 there and a first down.
And that's exactly what the Chiefs want to do. 3 runs, move the chains, and if you're Tampa's defense, all of a sudden you're thinking, well, we've got to cheat that safety up. We've got to get an extra guy in there. We've got to be able to keep the Chiefs from controlling the clock. And then at that point, watch out with Trent Green and these receivers down the field.
The numbers on Priest Holmes this season. 1st and 10 at the 35. Quick strike. This ball caught. Eddie Kennison with the reception gets to the 42-yard line. Gain of 8. Brian Kelly brings him down. And Kennison has been battling a broken bone in his wrist this season.
And you see Eddie Kennison, Gus, just coming right off the ball and not even setting up the defense. He had a nice cushion there and just went right into his slant. Trent Green putting it on him, and big pickup, 8 yards on 1st down.
2nd down and 2 at the 43. They run the reverse. And it's Kennison with all kinds of running room. Brooks brings him down, but he picks up 15 yards on the reverse. Eddie Kennison. So, BJ, who should we keep an eye on?
Well, when you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, you're talking about the best offensive line in the NFL. You've got to keep your eyes on a couple of their big linemen, and that's Will Shields, number 68, Brian Waters, 54, a couple of the guards. These guys are mobile, they're athletic, they can pull, and big linemen with speed that can block and understand angles are dangerous in this league, and the Chiefs have a couple of the best right there.
Opening drive for the Chiefs. Green throwing. He finds Priest Holmes, who's cut down immediately by Greg Spires after a gain of 1. But there has been some trash talking this week. Simeon Rice, one of the great pass rushers in the NFL, was quoted as saying that Willie Roaf can't block him. And we'll quote him here on going up against Willie. I faced him in the past. I'm going to face him this week. Nobody in this league can block me. I don't forecast that as a problem for myself.
That's right. I guess that was on the second page after T.O.'s comments this week.
Play action. Green over the middle. And it's caught. Kennison again. This time a gain of 14. Rondé Barber brings him down.
And just going to that, back to that matchup, Rice against Willie Roaf. You want to let a sleeping offensive lineman lie, and you don't want to just give him extra incentive. And when we talked to the Chiefs, they said, you got the big man, you got Big Willie fired up. And that's the last thing you need if you're Simeon Rice. Now, Simeon Rice is a great pass rusher, but against the run, which the Chiefs like to do, Willie Roaf can engulf him, so he's going to really have to use his quickness today to get away from the big man.
First down and 10. Holmes. And Priest Holmes gets to the 25.
And you know what, Gus, look at how methodical the Chiefs are. Run, run, pass, pass, run. They're mixing it up tremendously. And when when you have a Priest Holmes, you can afford to do that. And just so impressed with this young man, and so impressed with the way that he handles himself. And let's watch the big matchup outside. We got a down block, and you see Simeon Rice getting in on the tackle inside. Didn't get much of a block, left him unblocked.
Second down and 8 at the 25. Play action again. Green throws incomplete. Ball intended for Chris Horn, second-year man from Rocky Mountain.
That would have been a nice catch, but Chris Horn's got to come up with that, and that's one of the things that Trent Green has done. His receivers, he's put the ball in position for them to be able to get the ball. And let's watch the matchup. And there you go. Willie Roaf against Rice, and Rice just slips, and instead of laying on him, Willie gave him a break that time.
10th play of the drive that started at the Kansas City 23. Third down 8 at the 25. They need to go to the 17 for a first down. Green hit as he throws. Touchdown! Johnny Morton. What a throw by Trent Green. 25-yard strike. Trent Green showing the heart of a lion, staying in until the last possible moment.
Boy, and that's one of the things that's really changed about Trent Green's game, at least this year. Watch him under duress. He knows he's going to get popped, stands right in there, gets his front foot into the toss, puts it right on the money against the blitz, man-to-man outside, and Johnny Morton just runs by the coverage outside.
Mario Edwards.
And what a spectacular toss by Trent Green.
Extra point, up and good. Trent Green 4 of 5 on the drive, 48 yards. And the Kansas City Chiefs strike early, 7-0. Trent Green throws his 10th touchdown pass of the season as the Kansas City Chiefs march the ball down the field on their opening drive with ease. And watch Green stay in the pocket, BJ.
And watch the shot from Josh Savage. And you know what? So impressive, because you know you're going to get drilled. You absolutely know it, but you got to still step into it with that front foot. And not only that, Gus, there's a lot of quarterbacks that would underthrow that or overthrow that. Trent Green put that right on the money. Johnny Morton ran right under it. And a lot of the talk has been about the running game and Priest Holmes, but Trent Green has been playing phenomenal after a slow start this season.
Torrey Cox back deep. He leads the NFL with a 28.9 return average. Here's Cox at the 20, and he gets over the 25 to the 26. 26-yard return. Here comes the rejuvenated Brian Griese. Kansas City up by 7. Welcome back to Tampa. Brian Griese, a couple of weeks ago, 15 of 23, 163 yards, a touchdown, no picks in the Buccaneers win over the Chicago Bears as he makes his 3rd start of the season. Play action, Griese throwing on the run, Dilliger with the reception, and Dilliger, the former Colt, gets over the 35 to the 37, a gain of 9. Warfield with the tackle. Offensively for the Bucs, Dees, your former teammate with the 49ers, is the left tackle. Stinchcomb, Wade, Coleman, and Walker. And the backs and receivers, Michael Pittman coming off a 100-yard game against the Bears, 109 to be exact, on 23 carries. And an injured player on the field. Looks like John Wade, the center. And that could signal early trouble for the Buccaneers. Back after this. Moments ago, starting center John Wade was carted off the field, and here's the play.
Boy, and John Wade just gets bent back over. Watch here in the center, and there he is, just right here, and he gets bent back over his knee, and not a good sign, at least initially.
He's replaced by Sean Mahan. Once again, Griese throwing, this time Michael Clayton with the seam. Clayton, what a beautiful run! Clayton down inside the 10. Jerome Woods with the saving tackle, but the rookie speedster picks up 56 yards.
Boy, how great is this rookie? When was the last time a team had to rely on its rookie wide receiver for offense? And this first half of the season, that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Bucs have done. Watch him outside. He's just right here, blocks down and slides back out. Nobody covering him. Now watch the block he gets right here from his big tight end, Dilliger. Pushes the corner out of the way, and Clayton is off to the races.
The red zone has been a problem for the Bucs. 17 possessions this year, only 6 touchdowns. Here's the handoff to Pittman. Flag on the play. Kawika Mitchell with the tackle.
I'll tell you what, a response by the Tampa Bay offense, because the last thing you want is that Chiefs offense controlling the clock.
There is no infraction on the play. Number 75 had reported as an eligible receiver.
All right, the Chiefs allowed 5 touchdown passes, but came up with a key interception late in the game to preserve the win last week. Dalton starts at right tackle, therefore John Browning moves over to right end, and Jared Allen, their leading sacker, will come in on 3rd down. Fujita leads them in tackles at linebacker, Warfield in interceptions with 4. 2nd down and goal at the 8. Play action, Griese again, wide open man, touchdown, Cook. And that is the 81st career touchdown pass for Brian Griese.
And Gus, we saw 3 bootlegs by the Tampa Bay Bucs in the first drive, and they've really recognized something in this Kansas City defense. No contain, and they're going with the run fake, and nobody has been outside to cover the little drag route off the bootleg pass.
Jameel Cook with his first receiving touchdown of the year. Martin Gramatica with the extra point, and it's getting awfully warm in Tampa. The Bucs respond, and we're tied at 7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, presenting the Chicken Sandwich World Championship. Go to chickenfight.com for details. And by Bristol-Myers Squibb Company, hope, triumph, and the miracle of medicine.
Game tied at 7 apiece. That's because the Bucs go 4 plays, 73 yards. The big play on the drive, a 56-yard completion to Michael Clayton from Brian Greasy.
And 3 of those 4 plays were bootleg action. When was the last time you saw 3 out of 4 plays boots?
Dante Hall sets up at the 3. And Hall goes down to the 21. Good special teams coverage by the Buccaneers. And they're chippy. Here comes Trent Green and the Kansas City offense.
And let's check out that bootleg action. Let's watch what it does to the Chiefs defenders. I'm telling you, they are just absolutely going with the flow, and Michael Pittman here. Now watch backside. Nobody's around. Look at this hole for Cook to get through. No safeties, no linebackers, waltzing into the end zone. Now that's something, when you call 3 of those out of your first 4 plays, you've recognized something, and I think that we're going to see a lot more boot action today from the Tampa Bay Bucs till the Chiefs start keeping some defenders home backside.
So John Gruden has been doing some serious studying for this game.
Yeah, well, he's all about studying, staying up till 3, 4 in the morning. And guess we had a penalty on that last kickoff, and we're gonna have to re-kick it. Now you think, oh, it's just 5 yards, no big deal. But when you give Dante Hall another chance, and it's been weird, I've been thinking to myself this all week, man, Dante Hall is due. Just one of these times, I just have a weird feeling about this game.
Rondé Barber called for offside on the kickoff. So Gramatica 5 yards, and he pops it in the air. And this one fielded on the run at the 32-yard line. And that's Chris Horn returning it. He picks up 9 yards. So the Buccaneers with an answer for Dante Hall.
Boy, yeah, that was the answer. And you see, you don't want to give it to him twice. And how about the way their offense answered Kansas City's first drive? And I was thinking to myself after that first drive, holy cow, the Chiefs come in, and with all this talk during the week about the Tampa defense, and it's going to be a different challenge for them, and they marched it right down the field. But boy, Tampa Bay sure responded. And the last thing I expected this to be today was a shootout.
First down and 10 at the 38. Priest Holmes, the lone setback. He is hit immediately and down at the 30. Greg Spires shooting the gap, and that's a loss of 6.
Boy, and you called it, partner, shooting the gap. And that's the one advantage this Tampa defense has over the Kansas City offensive line. They've got the speed. Watch Spires, and he just goes unblocked. The offensive line a little late getting out of their stance, and that's the strength of this Tampa Bay defense. They aren't the biggest guys, but they are faster than everybody else. The fastest defense in the league. Sometimes they can get engulfed against some of the bigger offensive lines, but if they get penetration, they're dangerous.
Second down and 16 at the 32. Green with time, down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Tony Gonzalez, but a flag in the backfield.
And I'd imagine somebody was holding their back in the Chiefs' offensive line.
Holding. Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Chiefs struggled out of the gate, losing their first 3, but the last 2 weeks, folks, they've been the best team in pro football. 101 total points scored, second most all time, 1,130 total yards, a franchise record, 14 touchdowns, and an NFL record, 8 rushing touchdowns versus Atlanta. The most points over a 2-game span back in 2000, ironically, it was the St. Louis Rams.
Dick Vermeil's team, and clearly this offense has been putting on a clinic.
Second and 26. Another flag.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And Gus, the fact that the fans here in Tampa are into this game is a huge advantage for the Tampa defense. And much to what we were talking about before, they are a speed group up front. And so with noise, as an offense, when you can't hear, you're always just a split second late off the ball. Well, that split second can be the difference between the defensive man with a lot of speed blowing right by you. So right now, with this noise, huge advantage Tampa Bay defense.
2nd and 31 at the 17. Green setting up a screen. Here's Holmes, and he goes nowhere. Gold with the tackle, another flag on the play.
When the flag was thrown outside, and I'm just wondering if there was some type of a defensive holding, which would be a horrible penalty on 2nd and 26, because that'd be an automatic first down.
Actually, it's 2nd and 31.
Oh, man. That's right. The penalties keep stacking up. Can't count that high.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. Defense number 27. A 15-yard penalty. And a first down.
Wow. Mario Edwards.
I mean, you can only imagine what John Gruden's thinking right there. Mario Edwards beaten for that first touchdown. And when you've got the Chiefs offense backed up, one-on-one, let's see if he grabs. Oh, boy, now, you know what? That was not a 15-yarder. That's a 5-yarder. His hands got up in the face. That's a bad call. That should not be a personal foul. He didn't grab on and hang on. And that was a tough break for Mario Edwards in this Bucs defense, because that just changed this whole drive.
Chiefs get a little breathing room. 1st and 10 at the 32. And some movement. Willie Roaf.
Now Willie Roaf moved, Gus, but Simeon Rice was just bouncing inside. I think he was going to hit an A gap inside. He wasn't coming across the line of scrimmage, so I think that's going to actually go against Willie Roaf. And Willie Roaf is getting mad because of the noise, and he thinks that Simeon Rice was trying to intentionally get him to jump. Look at Willie Roaf. He's fired up today. Simeon Rice said he can't block him. You see Simeon smiling. He knows he's playing into his hands a little bit.
Simeon Rice.
Big Willie. Fired up. There you go. That's a little bit. Look, he knows. I'm getting in the big man's head.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. Moving in the neutral zone to cause the offense to
all
false start.
Willie's arguing got off.
5-yard penalty.
Now see, I don't know. I think Simeon Rice is going laterally. I don't think he's into the neutral zone. He's kicking down. He's going to come inside. And he got Willie Roaf to move. And, you know, I'm not sure I agree with that one either. And that smile's off Simeon Rice's face now. He thought he had the big man.
1st down and 5 at the 37. What a great matchup between these two special players. Play action. Green throws to the sideline, and it's caught out of bounds. Goes Tony Richardson. Now let's join Greg Gumbel in New York for an NFL update.
All right, Gus, the New York Jets turned the ball over fewer than any other team in the AFC, but a Chad Pennington fumble led to this 12-yard touchdown run by Willis McGahee. The Buffalo Bills have a 7-0 lead on the Jets coming up on 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, guys.
Wow, Willis McGahee. Somebody said week 2 he should be starting.
Yeah, whatever. As you take a look, the Patriots and the Jets fighting for the top spot. Priest Holmes trying to hop through the hole, gets to the 40. And this Tampa Bay defense, as Darby comes up with the tackle, is really fired up, Brent, to take on this red-hot Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Let's go back to Simeon and Willie. Big Willie trying to get him clubbing outside and allowing that lane back inside. You see Simeon Rice keeping contain outside. They want to force Priest Holmes back inside, allow those linebackers and the speed of this defense to catch up and get him.
3rd down and 2 at the 40. They need to go to the 42 for a first down. Gonzalez in motion. Here's Green. Throws it out. Holmes looking for the first down. He has it, but another flag on the play.
Boy, and they're going to call Will Shields with an illegal block in the back, and I thought it was a great block. I was watching it from up here, Certainly didn't think it was.
He leveled Shelton Quarles.
Holy cow. What a block. I wonder if he got his hands outside the framework of the body.
During the run, illegal block in the back. Offense number 68. A 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
And Will Shields not too happy. And how about the intensity on this field? And let's watch big number 68 right here on the outside. And you know what? That's a great call because of that hand in the back. Now, he had one in the front as well, which I saw. I didn't see that hand sneaking up the backside, Gus. And once an official sees that hand on a player's back, they're going to call it every time. And Big Will Shields knows better than that. Even that hand just slips out at there.
Dick Vermeil wants a timeout. 4:21 to play in the first quarter. Our game is tied at 7 apiece. Monday on an all-new Late Show, Dave welcomes the one and only Tom Hanks. Plus, music from Nelly. Dave's all new all this week right here on CBS, America's most watched network. 7-7 Kansas City and Tampa tied. And for the Chiefs, this must be kind of a surreal experience because there's so much red in the stands, it makes you think you're at Arrowhead.
I was thinking the same thing a couple times today. And Gus, this is a situation where you use Tony Gonzalez over that middle of the field. This is exactly what you want as a Kansas City Chief.
Third down and 12. They go down the middle of the field. That's Kennison. Oh, man! Eddie Kennison fumbles the ball. It's loose. Picked up by the Bucs. Brian Kelly. Kelly. Back to the 30. What a play.
That was unbelievable. And let's watch the play. Tony Gonzalez takes a couple players deep, and here comes Kennison across the middle. You see the safeties going Gonzalez. Gonzalez comes back, gets a block, but look at the effort back outside from Smith, doing a great job of stripping. That is unbelievable. That's about to be a touchdown. Now, Eddie Kennison's got to know someone's coming. Cover that up. Right on the ball into the end zone. Look at that. That is exactly how you teach it. Right arm around the player so you can tackle it. Left arm hard down with the hammer. And what an impressive effort by Smith. I mean, I still can't believe it.
Dwight Smith knocks the ball loose. Kennison with a 62-yard reception. And then on the return, 29 yards by Brian Kelly.
You know, and there's Coach Vermeil, and what a great leader this man is. You know what he's doing? He's going over to the sideline. He's saying, hey, guys, we can do this. Eddie, shake it off. Let's go, offensive line. We can handle these guys. They had the first series, Gus, and that should have been a touchdown or right darn close to it, so they know he's trying to keep his troops pumped up.
What a great play, though, by Smith. First and 10 at the 29. Greasy over the middle, incomplete. And finally, we get a chance to take a breath.
Jeez.
There's been a lot going on in this game. We asked this question, Brent. When Tampa has the football, what should we pay attention to?
Well, you know what? One of the things they got to do is attack this Chiefs secondary, and that's their weakness right now. That's where they're going to be going after Gus. And you see them right now. They're not letting the nickel defense get in. They're going on the line of scrimmage. No huddle. They've got 3 receivers to the top, 1 down below. And they're going to go after this Chiefs secondary.
Greasy over the middle. Pittman with the catch out of the backfield. Michael Pittman down at the 47. Greg Wesley with the tackle. A gain of 24.
Boy, in this game, the NFL is all about matchups. Watch Michael Pittman outside. He's going to run a little what we call Texas route. Stutter step outside, come back underneath. You see the coverage lanes outside in the zone. Nobody down the middle of the field. Michael Pittman, a tough runner in the open field, Gus. I love this guy. He is a tough ball player.
First down and 10. Greasy again setting up deep. Fires underneath. That ball is caught by Heller, the tight end. And Heller gets to the 25. A 22-yard gain. We've got a hot one here. Here's Greg Gumbel in New York with more.
All right, Gus, the Oakland Raiders have lost a horrendous 13 straight on the road, trying to turn that around at Carolina. Tyrone Wheatley's 1-yard run gives the Raiders a 10-0 lead early in the second quarter. Back to you guys.
All right, Greg, we had the Raiders last week against San Diego, and quite frankly, they looked awful. Good to see him on top now. On the road, Carolina banged up, ravaged by injuries. But John Fox still has his team playing tough football. 1st and 10 at the 25. Pittman breaks it back with the running room, and Pittman stumbles forward to the 20-yard line. And I thought it was interesting when we talked to John Gruden the other day, and I brought up the question, so Coach, what do you think going into this game against a team that's so hot? I was getting ready to say my next sentence, and he said, wait a minute. We're not afraid of these guys. They've won 2 out of 3. We've won 2 out of 3.
That's right. Hey, we're hot too. And you talk about a guy that gets hot on the sideline. As a player, you'd love playing for John Gruden. He's intense. He loves the game. He's such a bright young coach. And part of that has been just crucifying right now this Kansas City secondary.
Play action, Greasy on the roll. Finds Dilger out of the tight end position. And Dilger refuses to go out of bounds and gets to the 12. Ran right over Sean Barber. But a flag on the play, and Barber's hurt. A lot of penalties and injuries in this game to start.
And clearly both teams, with the start that they had their backs up against the wall, and both are looking forward to a lot of division games down the stretch, trying to get back into the playoff picture. The Chiefs a little bit better position than the Bucs, and so an extremely important game. And you know, Gus, this is one of the things that I love about Dick Vermeil. There's only a handful of coaches in this league, and I'm not going to name names, that will come out on the field.
Well, Jeff Fisher's one.
That's it. We've seen Jeff Fisher do it. That'll come out onto the field with an injured player.
What does it mean?
You know what? I think that there's a true caring. I'm not saying other coaches don't care about their players, but they're so focused during the game.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 80, offense. The play resulted in a first down. After the 15-yard penalty, it'll be 1st and 10.
Michael Clayton, the rookie, with the unnecessary roughness penalty.
You know what? I don't know. I think Michael Clayton was just playing to the whistle, and he was working hard, and you can't blame a rookie for trying to get an extra block. And let's watch. See, we don't have a whistle yet.
Wow.
And there's Clayton jumping into the pile on a lineman. How about the rook going after a lineman? You got a penalty. I don't know about the whistle. We didn't hear it, but going back, Gus, to Dick Vermeil. If there's any coach that I could come back and play for in the National Football League, it'd be Dick Vermeil, because I just think he cares that much. And to come out on the field, to take yourself out of the focus of what are the next plays and what are we doing, to say, hey, you know what? My guy that battles for me is down on the field. I'm going to come all the way across the field to the other sideline and make sure he's okay. And we've done hundreds of games, and it's just a rare sight in this league.
Barber was hit by his own teammate, Greg Wesley, the safety, and went backwards.
How about Michael Clayton? How about Michael Clayton? Going after Lionel Dalton. Look at that. I'll show you, big defensive lineman. Look at this. You're going to jump over the top, little helmet to helmet, and that's what he got called for. It wasn't the whistle. It was helmet to helmet, so it was a little bit of a spear. Look at that. Oh, and Lionel Dalton, I'm telling you, wait till films. When a rookie wide receiver pounds you and knocks you down, your boys are going to have something to say about it.
So Barber has to be helped up, and looks like it was a helmet-to-helmet hit with Wesley. And he may have bent the knee backwards. Sean Barber, 8th year out of Richmond, has 2 interceptions this season, and that left knee is a little tender right now. Now the MetLife Snoopy 1 is under the command of Captain Jeff Kapik, with help from co-pilot Snoopy. They're working hard to provide these aerial shots of today's game in Tampa, and what a spectacular day it is, folks. The colors here at Raymond James Stadium are so vivid. It's almost like you're watching some kind of weird sci-fi movie. As we take a look at the AFC West and the standings, Kansas City with the win today are right back in it.
And you see the 0-1 in the division. That's the key, Gus. They've got several division games down the stretch.
5 of their last 6 games are against division opponents. Greasy setting up, looking downfield, incomplete. And some miscommunication on the route. I believe Heller ran the wrong route.
And you see Brian Greasy saying, yeah, you got to keep on going across. And of course, we see that boot action once again. And most of the times, teams boot to the strong side, the right side if a right-handed quarterback, and the left side if the left-handed quarterback. They've gone both ways today with Brian Greasy. And that, Gus, that was the first pass play where the Chiefs actually were within 5 yards of every receiver. These Tampa Bay Bucs receivers have been, and you hear the term wide open, but they've been wide open all day.
2nd and 10. Greasy, short drop, going up top. Caught. Joey Galloway. There's a name Buccaneers fans haven't heard in a while. A gain of 21. Michael Pittman with a terrific block.
He's back. And you see Joey Galloway saying this jersey just didn't come off my pads. Little holding going on outside. One-on-one, Joey Galloway, and you know what that means. Ball thrown just a little bit behind him. And Joey, nice job of coming back and getting up for the ball.
Galloway with a severe groin injury the first week of the season against the Redskins. This is only his 2nd game since injuring himself. 1st and goal at the 7, the pitch to Pittman. Pittman lowers his shoulder and gets inside the 5. Greg Wesley with the tackle, a gain of 3.
And Gus, one of the things that has been improved with the Kansas City Chiefs defense this year versus last year is their run defense. They're playing a lot tougher line of scrimmage. Their linebackers are doing a good job of coming off blocks, and they're doing a pretty solid job. And that's half the way there. You've really got to, if you can bring into a decent job in the secondary with this offense, this Chiefs team can go all the way.
And the Buccaneers are going to wait for the quarter to end. What a first half. A lot going on in Tampa.
Oh, man. Well, we've got a shootout.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Tampa 7, Kansas City 7. We'll return to Raymond James Stadium after these messages. Welcome back. And Brent, you talked about the Chiefs defense. Gunther Cunningham, once again the defensive coordinator, formerly the head coach in Kansas City, and what an interesting story for him to come back and serve as the coordinator for Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, you know, it just shows you the humility of Gunther Cunningham, and I just respect him so much, and I think his players respect him for doing that. Fiery leader, and I think his involvement and just his intensity and stick-to-itiveness has been instrumental, and especially that game against the Colts last week. I just thought that the way that defense played at the end and came up with a big stop, I just thought a lot of credit has to go to Gunther Cunningham, and clearly he's going to have to make some adjustments today. We've seen this Tampa Bay offense come out specifically throwing the ball, not afraid of getting into a shootout with the Chiefs, and you know what? They've been very successful, Gus, with these bootlegs, and I'd look for one down here.
Now looking for a fresh start to your fantasy football season? Help has arrived with NFL Fourth Quarter Fantasy. It's the first ever midseason fantasy game, and it's free. Sign up today at NFL.com or to NFL on AOL. 2nd and goal at the 4. Play action. Greasy fires, caught, and Cook goes out of bounds at the 1.
Boy, and you know what? And Cook's thinking, if I just had one more step, I could have reached that ball across the goal line, and it's just momentum just took him out. He just got the ball step too late. You see that clutch? And Greasy was looking outside and just short Jamil Cook of being able to stretch that ball across the goal line. He just needed one more step, and he would have been able to pull it off.
John Gruden watching from the sideline, his team faced with the 3rd and goal at the 1. Pittman straight ahead, and I don't think he got in.
Boy, and we talk about the difference in this Kansas City Chiefs defense against the run. That was a big-time stop on the road on 3rd down. Bucs came out of the huddle quick, went on a quick snap. And look at the penetration inside by his big defensive lineman.
So that brings up 4th down and goal, and John Gruden says, we're going for it.
So what do you think, partner? I don't know if John Gruden can run it twice. I think he's going to have to go to the air. I think a little play action right here.
I see Pittman over the top. 4th down goal. Pittman. Touchdown.
Hey. You called it. And Michael Pittman, knowing that it's 4th down, got up. John Gruden showing me something, sticking with that run, because this Chiefs run defense has certainly tightened up this year. And let's watch Pittman over the top. And one heck of an effort by that Chiefs D, but you see Pittman reaching over, knowing it's 4th down. That's the time to take that gamble and put that ball out away from your body.
Michael Pittman with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. Grammatica in for the extra point. Down, up, and good. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go 11 plays, 71 yards, and they are going right at the heart of the Chiefs. Up 14-7.
And watch Michael Pittman's 2nd effort, because he is initially stopped by Jerome Woods. Watch number 21 outside come in and hit the shot right there. That ball's not in. Now it's 4th down. He's in a pile of bodies. So he's not down. You see him reach that ball across the end line. One heck of an effort, because he knows it's 4th down. There's no coming up short on 4th.
Grammatica sends it away. And this ball kicked out of bounds. So the Chiefs will have it at the 40. They're trying to keep it away from Dante Hall.
Well, you keep it away and then giving him the ball at the 40. 2 different deals.
Ron Winter's mic is broken right now, so we'll have to read lips. 14-7. Buccaneers with the lead, but the Chiefs have awesome field position.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel, done. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. And by Samuel Adams. When you're ready for a distinctive brew, Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Welcome back to Tampa. Gus Johnson, Brett Jones, Michael Pittman. His 3rd rushing touchdown since the 2002 season. 1st down and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Chiefs. They run the reverse. Johnny Morton looking for room. And Morton is knocked out of bounds at the 46. A gain of 6. So what's the book on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, we all know they started off 0-3 and it was getting pretty ugly. You know, not just on the defensive side of the ball, the offense as well. Our big tight end, Tony Gonzalez, got his 500th reception. Congratulations, TG. And then the offensive explosion started. Went back to running behind this great offensive line, getting the ball to Priest Holmes, and that's really been the difference these last couple games.
2nd down and 4. Short drop, draw play, Holmes, and Priest Holmes gets inside Tampa territory. A gain of 7. Here's Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Gus, that's Carolina. Raiders with a 10-point lead. Here come the Panthers. Jake Delhomme, 1 yard. Makes it look easy. Chris Mangum all alone in the back of the end zone with the extra point. Oakland's lead is down to 3 at 10-7. 6.5 to play in the 1st half.
All right, so the Panthers trying to make a comeback there. 1st down and 10 at the 47. Holmes again following his block. Gets outside and is dragged down from behind by Derrick Brooks. A gain of 4.
You know, when everybody talks about the offensive line, they talk about Priest Holmes. What about Tony Richardson?
Yeah.
What a great point of attack fullback. And this young man has been spectacular. And Priest was talking to us about Tony and some of the things that he does. And he says, Tony has to think like a running back. He has to think like me and set up his positioning and his point of attack on defenders, and he said he's really done a spectacular job leading the way.
2nd and 6. Here's the pitch. Holmes down the sideline. And Priest Holmes out of bounds at the 32. Simeon Rice runs him out of bounds. A gain of 11. And Priest Holmes has come up with a number of highlights this year.
Well, yes, and you know what a spectacular back. And it's funny because you think Priest Holmes, I mean, he is the most coveted player in fantasy football. He's the #1 pick no matter what because of the production. And you think this guy was told by Brian Billick in Baltimore that you're not my type of back. I mean, how lucky are the Kansas City Chiefs to be able to get Priest Holmes here a few years back?
They should send Coach Billick a bouquet of roses. Green to the sideline, incomplete. But the Ravens at that particular time wanted to establish a running game similar to some of the other teams in the league, a power running game, and Jamal Lewis was coming out of Tennessee, so they decided to draft a big, strong, powerful back like the Steelers had with Jerome Bettis, like the Bengals had with Corey Dillon. So that made Priest Holmes expendable.
You just never think of those two words together, Holmes and expendable.
2nd and 10. Holmes again. And he gets to the 25. Dwight Smith with the tackle.
You know, Priest was great. We talked to him about the Baltimore situation. He said, you know, to be honest with you, I learned an awful lot there. I learned everything I needed to know from Ernest Biner. And, of course, how to be a hard-nosed guy, how to play, how to be in the right place all the time. And you know what? Priest Holmes takes shots. When he's standing up or getting that extra yards, guys are taking shots at him. And he told us it takes him 4 or 5 days to feel better. And I said, well, how do you feel? And he goes, I don't know. Ask me 2 hours before game time tomorrow.
After I see the doctor.
That's right.
3rd down and 4 at the 26. Green looking underneath. Johnny Morton with the catch. Picks up a couple of yards after the catch. 9-yard gain. Rondé Barber brings him down.
And Gus, you got to watch what Tony Gonzalez does. He just gets down the field right here, takes the coverage downfield. You see everybody dropping deep, watching the big tight end. There's 3 guys back there, and then that allows for the underneath route. And Trent Green does a great job of looking off the defenders. Johnny Morton's sneaking underneath.
There's Tony Gonzalez. Pro Bowl tight end. 1st down and 10 at the 18. Play fake. Green looking. And he's hit as he throws. What a catch by Gonzalez, who gets out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Wow. Will Allen gets him a 14-yard gain, but watch Gonzalez extend for the football.
You know, and that's one of the things that these Chiefs receivers have done the last couple weeks. They've gotten up, and you see Tony Gonzalez do a great job setting up his man and bouncing back outside. And you cannot cover Tony Gonzalez with a linebacker. And nothing against Ian Gold, but one-on-one with a linebacker. Look at the shot that Trent Green takes.
First catch for Gonzalez. 1st down and goal at the 4. Holmes. And he tiptoes to the 2-yard line. Derrick Brooks with the tackle, along with Quarles.
You know, Gus, other than that strip of Eddie Kennison, this Tampa Bay defense hasn't really stopped the Kansas City offense. And, you know, Kansas City has been spectacular in the red zone this year. 29 possessions, 22 touchdowns. It's unbelievable, really, that they're 3 and 4 at this point in the season.
2nd and goal at the 2. Priest Holmes. Touchdown, KC. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. The 80th career rushing touchdown for Priest Holmes. And the Chiefs are ready to tie this game up at 14.
Yeah, Gus, you know what? You just don't see that. In all the years that I've watched this Tampa Bay defense, you don't see a running back just waltz through. And watch, there's Richardson. You see the offensive lineman clearing the way, and there's nobody there. And that just doesn't happen to the Tampa defense. And Gus, one of the guys that's really making a play down there, Jason Dunn, the 2nd tight end for the Chiefs. Maybe the best blocking tight end in the league.
Extra point is good. 9:05 to go in the 2nd quarter. Priest Holmes and the Chiefs answer. We're tied at 14. Priest Holmes comes up with his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. his 8th rushing touchdown in the last 3 games as the Chiefs get on the board, and we're now tied at 14 apiece with 9:05 to go in the second quarter.
And how about 9:05 in the second quarter and no punts? Now the Chiefs, they might have heard that before. Clearly in Tampa, that hasn't happened.
This one coming right into your living room, folks. Tynes sends it away. Torrey Cox is back deep. Torrey Cox starts inside his own 10. And Cox gets up to the 30-yard line, a 21-yard return. Tackle on special teams made by Fred Jones. 14 apiece. The Priest is relaxing for now.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by UBS, a global financial firm with the heart and soul of a 2-person organization, you and us. And by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report. What a game here in Tampa. 14 apiece. Buccaneers with the ball at their own 30. Play action. Greasy looking. That one is incomplete. Intended for the fullback, Jameel Cook. Cook getting the start today in place of Greg Comella. And unfortunately for the Buccaneers, one of their leaders on the offensive line, John Wade, who went out in the first quarter with the knee injury, is done for the day.
And there's Sean Mahan as replacement, Gus. And one of the things that we haven't seen a lot from the Chiefs is pressure on the quarterback. Look for more blitzing from here on out, maybe inside, right over those A-gaps where Sean Mahan, the backup center, has been playing.
Second down and 10 at the 30. Here comes a blitz. Picked up. Ball thrown. Incomplete. Nice defense on the play. Clayton, the intended receiver. Julian Vattel is there.
And Gus, one of the guys we got to keep an eye on today is Michael Clayton. And you talk about making an impact as a rookie. This guy's come in. Jervicius was hurt. Joey Galloway was hurt. And the Bucs have been riding the spectacular exploits of this young man, the rookie wide receiver. We've seen him all over the field, making blocks, going after defensive linemen, making big catches.
Greasy in trouble, and he throws it away. And that was Jared Allen chasing down Brian Greasy.
Boy, and Jared Allen just coming up right up the gut. And there he is, 69, getting inside. You see Sean Mahan just a little late getting over there. And we talked about the Chiefs. If they're going to put pressure on Greasy, maybe they're going to try that middle of the defense.
And the Buccaneers will be called for intentional grounding. Jared Allen not starting today, but playing primarily on third downs. He has 4 sacks this season. That leads the Kansas City Chiefs. There's Jared.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 8. Penalizes the spot of the foul and a loss of down. Makes it 4th down.
So that forces John Gruden and the Buccaneers to punt for the first time today. This is actually the first punt of the game. Josh Bidwell back deep, and Dante Hall hovers around midfield.
And Gus, you saw the adjustment from the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They've been blitzing a lot more this year. Didn't come into the game today starting with the blitz, but that's been their adjustment those last 2 plays, getting pressure on Greasy, and so far pretty successful.
Dante Hall has only returned 8 punts this year. He has 9 fair catches. Bidwell, wobbly kick. Hall from the 39 with the wedge, cuts it back, tippy-toe, down inside the 35. A 41-yard punt and a 29-yard return. Dave Moore gets him.
When Dave Moore saves a touchdown, because Dante Hall was gone. You see him looking for his blockers. Does a nice job of getting outside. Now watch him sit here and wait for his blockers to come back. He comes back inside and almost breaks it down the sideline. it was off to the races time for Dante Hall. Still big return, big momentum shift for this Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Kansas City starting at the Tampa 32. Tony Gonzalez lines up in the backfield. Now an empty set. Green over the middle, finds the big tight end at the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. And he says, throw it a little higher, Trent. Monday on CBS, brace yourself. Monday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. First down and 10 at the 19. Larry Johnson checks into the backfield for Kansas City. Here's Johnson, stood up and goes down. No gain on the play.
I guess you saw that last graphic with Tampa Bay with only 10 rushing yards and Chiefs being able to pound out yards, but John Gruden feels like he's going to attack that weakness of the Kansas City defense, and that's the secondary. And up until that last punt, they've been doing a pretty good job of it.
Second down, 10 at the 19. Green to the sideline. Gonzalez squares up and goes out of bounds at the 14. A gain of 5 for Tony Gonzalez.
And you see the big tight end just sneaking out into a drag route outside, and Rodney Barber actually does a good job dropping off into the zone, but still keeping an eye on Tony Gonzalez and just getting up there and making the tackle, get him out of bounds. Use that sideline as an extra man, just pound him out. You don't want to let him cut back into the inside the field because he's a horse to try to bring down.
Third down, 4 at the 13. Johnson, the single setback, play fake. Green looking, incomplete. So the Tampa defense holds, and they have to consider this a win if they can hold Kansas City to a field goal.
Absolutely, especially after that Dante Hall return, put him in prime position. And we're starting to see these defenses adjust to the early success of both offenses, and that's what makes this game of football so spectacular. And it's great to see coaches that know how to adjust on the run, because some of them we see don't.
Lawrence Tynes will attempt one from 31 yards away. Down, up, and good. 6:25 to go in the first half. The Chiefs take a 17-14 lead. (17-14) Kansas City takes the lead with a 31-yard field goal from Lawrence Tynes. They've scored on 3 of 4 drives today.
Because I think we might see a little bit more Michael Pittman on the ground in this series. Clearly, for that play action to work and to get some of those Chiefs defenders out of position, you got to at least make some type of concerted effort to run the ball. And so I think we might see the Bucs go back to that, because right now Kansas City's defense is completely thinking pass first.
Look at the scoreboard. Pittsburgh all over Philadelphia in the first half. Cox starts from the 5. Cox with running room. And he goes down at the 32, maybe the 33. 28-yard return. Fred Jones again on special teams. All right, a look at the NFC South standings. Tampa feels that they're still in it, especially with the win today.
Yeah, and this is the biggest thing. Everybody's only played one division game. They're 1-0 in the division. And so got a lot of things to stretch down the line. Clearly Atlanta is out in front, that's 6-2, but there's some people that feel that they're a little bit of a myth, and you know what? That's why they play the game.
They're at Atlanta next week, then games against San Francisco and at Carolina. Greasy stumbling as he hands it off to Pittman, who is just drilled on the play terrific looking tackle by Bonnie Holiday, a loss of 1. And the quarterback carousel this year for the Buccaneers, John Gruden having a hard time making up his mind.
Yeah, you know, Brian Greasy's actually come back, and you look at that 104.9 rating and the fact that Joe Jurevicius is getting back, Joey Galloway's getting back, and what an unbelievable receiver they have in Michael Clayton. This just seems like this offense is starting to click. Guys are starting to figure out, and the offensive line has been playing a lot better the last 2 or 3 weeks.
2nd and 11 at the 32. Greasy over the middle. Clayton with the catch, and he gets to the 41-yard line. William Barty with the tackle, a gain of 9.
And Gus, little audible outside. Watch Brian Greasy just touch his helmet. There you go, right on the top. He said, I'm going to a quick route. Michael Clayton, be ready. Got the blitz coming. See that? 3-step, bang.
John Gruden told us that Brian Greasy has such a great understanding of the game. He almost has a photographic memory, and he does things that fans don't understand, even players don't understand, but coaches pick up, and they love him for it. Stumbling. Greasy stepping up, almost tripped. Greasy running, and Greasy close to the first down.
Boy, it seems like he's going to be about, gosh, a football short, at least it looks like from up here. And you see Brian Greasy stumbling, going back. Nice job. He's actually a lot more mobile than people realize. He's got a little bit more speed and toughness, and you see him going forward right there. I wonder where that ball was marked, right around here. That looks like a perfect marking, which is going to end up, well, I don't know.
Brian Greasy went to the Pro Bowl in 2000, led the NFL in passer rating with a 102.9 and posted the 2nd best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history. 19 TDs, 4 interceptions, and that is a first down.
Wow, just got it.
So Brian Greasy is traveled around a bit. Denver, where he was a star, then to Miami, and now Tampa. And the great thing about John Gruden is Greasy has gone through some personal problems as well as professional problems. He's dusted this kid off and got his confidence up again.
Well, it certainly has been the case here in Tampa.
The pitch by Greasy looking for the home run. Clayton is there! Holy mackerel! What a catch at the 11th!
Boy, and I'd imagine that there was some type of interference on the Kansas City defense. Michael Clayton quadruple covered. Wait till you see this one. 4 guys chasing him down the field and still came up with a spectacular grab.
And what a throw by Brian Greasy.
And how can this guy be a rookie?
Holding. Defense number 21. Penalties decline. Play results in the first down.
What a catch. This guy's not a rookie. He's quadruple covered. There's 3. There comes a 4th. Look at there. It looks like a track meet. It looks like a track meet.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what, Gus? And I don't know that he hung on to that. It might have hit the ground first. Let's see. Oh, you know what? That's an incomplete pass. What an effort. And that's going to be, I'll bet they challenge that on the Chiefs sideline, because the holding penalty certainly isn't a 60-yard penalty. What a heck of an effort. I thought he had it initially. Even Tony Gonzalez doesn't get quadruple covered.
Kansas City has challenged a ruling on the field that the pass is complete.
So they will challenge this play. 17-14 Chiefs. Michael Clayton.
And boy, you know, they could have called pass interference, because you saw his left shoulder pad get grabbed before he started to lay out, but the officials had already called holding. And you see that he's getting grabbed and molested even before what looked like a catch, and it wasn't. So the Chiefs are going to get a huge break, Gus, because that ball's on the ground right there, and he slides around and cradles it pretty nicely. Now, the call on the field was catch, but remember, irrefutable evidence overturns it, and that's irrefutable right there. So you're just going to have the holding penalty.
But what a throw.
What a throw is right.
By Brian Griese. He put that in a shoebox.
He certainly did. Boy, and the fact that they called holding, Gus, that means the ball wasn't in the air yet. So it's just going to be 5 yards and automatic first down for the Bucs. So that's going to come way back.
Dick Vermeil confident about this challenge. Ball clearly hitting the ground.
Boy, but what an effort by the Rook. And like I said, he just doesn't play like a rookie. You know, I know that there's been a lot of talk here about Tim Brown coming to Tampa, but what a great asset to have Tim Brown in your ear, working with you, coaching you, telling you how to be a professional. Michael Clayton, man.
And as Brian Griese told us, of all the teams that Michael Clayton could have gone to in the NFL draft, this offense is the most difficult for him to learn, especially as a rookie. John Gruden's offense is not simple at all, and he has really done a terrific job of grasping it.
Now, you know, we're kind of taking a long time to figure out that ball hit the ground.
So let's take a look at the penalty toward the bottom of the screen.
And here's the grab right there. You see the hand checking. You can't touch the 5-yard rule this year. The area, the point of ref, that they're going to actually be calling.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the process of completing the catch. The ball hit the ground and was loose in his hands. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass.
And that is a good call. Let's take another look at it.
No, they forgot to announce the penalty. Now, I still think there's pass interference right there. They're grabbing him. They're grabbing his arm. They're grabbing his shoulder. That can throw you off. You can't touch a receiver. So the Chiefs got away with one. They got the 5-yarder, but they missed the PI down the field. And that's a big break. Still, spectacular play, and we've seen a couple spectacular plays out of this young man today already.
Clayton with 2 catches for 65 yards.
So all that for 5 yards and a first down.
Yeah. 4:18 to go in the second quarter. First down and 10 at the 48. Juravicius in motion. Juravicius with the catch. And Juravicius gets to the 37. First down. Eric Warfield brings him down after a 15-yard reception, his 3rd of the year.
Now, you know Joe Juravicius is famous for that first down side. That was smooth, though. You see how he just flung that one out there? Boom! First down.
Juravicius has battled knee and back injuries that have forced him to miss 17 games between last year and this year.
Now, you watch him get back in the flow of things, and you get Joey Galloway back, and this is going to be a completely different offense.
First and 10. Dilger in motion. Here come the Chiefs. Griese down the field. Galloway. Oh! Flag on the play. But Joey Galloway, alligator arm that football.
And we might have a roughing the passer. We saw Griese down. Chiefs getting a lot of pressure once again from Jared Allen. And Joey Galloway. That's what happens when you're out of the flow for a while.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 69. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Jared Allen.
And you got to know when that ball's away, you got to let up. And there it is in the drive down into the ground. And Joey Galloway just trying to get back in the flow of things. I don't know. You said he alligator arm. Man, you better be sure when you say that about a guy. You better be sure. I don't want to have to hold Joey off you.
Well, you know what?
Down the road.
As they say.
I know you've been lifting. Watch out there, boy.
The eye in the sky don't lie. Here's Pittman. And Pittman picks up one, baby. Allen with the tackle. Tonight on 60 Minutes, who's the big credit card company's worst nightmare? A man who wants to save you money. How? Watch 60 Minutes tonight. And they are waiting to tee this bad boy up.
It scared you the first time.
Yeah, it got me rattled when I heard it for the first time today during rehearsal.
You know, I hate when you try to jump in my arms.
Wow.
Jeez. I have to protect you from Joey Galloway after the game.
You know what, Joey? He's a rich man. I'd love him to beat me up. I'd get a new pool.
Yeah, but, you know, that's part of the deal.
Now today, the MetLife blimp Snoopy 1 is navigating the skies above Tampa to provide aerial coverage of today's game. The MetLife blimp is capable of reaching a maximum speed of 55 miles per hour and an altitude of 7,000 feet. Look to the skies for the MetLife blimps at future events throughout the year. Take a look at young Michael Clayton, Brian Griese. Don't forget, coming up next, Tom Brady and the Patriots try to bounce back against Marshall Faulk, and the Rams or the Texans take on the Broncos. Check your local listings.
Because we saw Tampa's offense have a lot of success with that bootleg here in the first quarter. They haven't come back to it the last couple of series. This could be a good time and a good spot for it.
Second down and 10 at the 22. Griese under pressure, throwing on the run, incomplete. Bucs want a flag on the play. Jerome Woods
and the official
throwing a block on Cook.
Yeah, and the official had to determine that was uncatchable because that was such blatant pass interference that nobody could miss that. And you see the pressure from the Chiefs blitz. And yeah, that ball was nowhere near the receiver. And Brian Griese was just throwing that away. But still, you got to be careful as a defender to not get that cheap pass interference call.
Third down 10 at the 22. Bucs need to go to the 12 for first down. Griese with time over the middle. And this time Joey catches it. Joey Galloway with the grab inside the 5.
That's right. He said, take that, Gus Johnson.
A 19-yard gain.
Hey, throw it away. When you got man coverage, throw it to the open spot. Let your receiver run under it. That's exactly what Brian Griese does. And how impressive has Brian Griese been? Pressure, just throw it away. You see him throwing it, and Joey laying out. No alligator arms, Gus. What a catch. He's back into the flow.
Brian Griese, though, has been sensational. His precision, accuracy, second to none. 11 of 17, 192 yards, and the Bucs are knocking on the door. John Gruden, 2-0 all-time versus Dick Vermeil, dating back to his days with the Oakland Raiders. Gruden and the Buccaneers faced with a first and goal at the 3. A quick strike. Touchdown. Wow. Dilger all alone. The tight end lining up as a wide receiver.
And Gus, that was clearly something that the Tampa Bay Bucs picked up on film out of the formation that they ran. And when the man went in motion, the safeties kicked down, and we had one guy trying to cover 2. And what a toss by Brian Griese, throwing it over the outstretched arms of Eric Warfield.
And that is the 3rd red zone touchdown of the day for the Buccaneers coming into this game. And this is a very telling statistic. The Buccaneers only had 6 red zone touchdowns the entire year.
And let's watch what happens. Brian Griese just throwing it out up over the top of Warfield. And you see Warfield had kicked back down inside. That motion, the set, and you see him late. He was on the inside receiver and had to get out wide. And that's something that the Bucs picked up on film. Brian Griese making a heck of a toss. And that was close. And you see, let's see if this was actually something at the snap of the ball. Look at that. There's the finger wave. And you see Warfield knows to get out there. He waits till the ball snap. When you see a guy uncovered outside like that, you got to go. And Warfield's had a much better year. He's coming along as a defensive back, but there's a guy, you got to call, you either got to call timeout or get your tail out there. He saw him. You can see us put his hand up. Just too late reacting.
John Gruden takes a look at some of the photographs. Warfield not happy with the play. And Coach Gruden was so positive when we met with him on Friday. What a great leader, a young leader. He makes you want to get out there and strap on a helmet, because every day, according to Coach Gruden, is a good day.
The players love playing for John Gruden.
Great motivator.
Absolutely.
Bucs send it away. Dante Hall, he can change the game in a moment from the 5. Dante breaks it loose. Still on his feet, and he gets out of bounds at the 35. 28-yard return. Will Allen pushes him out of bounds. So let's take a look at the Bucs scrapbook.
Well, that 0-4 start was tough, but when you got good leadership at the head coaching position, you can always bounce back. And Chris Sims, Phil's son, who's much better looking than Phil, got a chance to get in there and play, but got injured, and then Brian Griese stepped in, and this is a different Brian Griese. This is a Brian Griese that has some composure, some maturity. You see the Bucs won 2 of the last 3. He's been accurate. He's been tough. He's been engaged. I think that's one of the things, one of the knocks on him in the past. He's been a little bit disengaged in the locker room.
Green to the sideline, caught at midfield by Johnny Morton. Clock keeps running as the Chiefs hurry up to the line of scrimmage. A minute 28 remaining in the first half. Plenty of time for this Kansas City offense. Green again. Gonzalez with the catch at the 45. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, don't forget to join Greg, Dan Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Green fumbling the ball. Steps up in the pocket, wants to run, and goes down at the 40. Dwayne White with the tackle after a 5-yard pickup. First down, Kansas City.
Boy, and that actually dropping the ball by Trent Green actually helped him. The rushers got beyond him, and he stepped up into the pocket and knew where that first down marker was and got up in there, got the first down, called timeout. Tampa was coming with the blitz, and they went right by him. So you see that ball on the ground, we got the players getting beyond him, and there's the pocket. And dropping the ball is actually a break for the Chiefs, and you see Trent Green and the great effort that he has here at the end of the play. And Tampa, Gus went out of their Tampa 2 right there, and we talked about the Tampa 2 at the start of the show, but they're much more than just that 2-deep zone. They've been blitzing, changing it up, playing some man.
Both teams over 200 total yards already.
Look at that. And everybody thought Tampa Bay had to come out and control the clock and run the ball, but we said at the top of the show, hey, if you're going to go after the Chiefs, you got to find where they're weakest, and John Gruden believes that that's their secondary, which is a lot of people think the same thing, and they've attacked it.
First down and 10, KC at the 40. They send 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Green to the near side. Johnny Morton with the catch, out of bounds at the 25. Flag on the play. Looks like this may go against Tampa after a 15-yard pickup by Morton, who's had quietly a really solid first half.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone for snap. Penalties decline. The play results in a first down.
Maybe Greg Spires.
Because that's the way, that's how you attack this Tampa 2 that they're playing right now. You get beyond the corners and before the safeties, or you use that middle of the field.
First and 10. Green out of the shotgun. Finds Priest Holmes out of the backfield, and he's out of bounds at the 24. Dwight Smith ushering him out of bounds after a 1-yard gain. And this game, Brent, is turning out to be one of those games that might find the team with the ball at the end as the team that could win it.
Yeah, that's not a bad one to be able to sit here and broadcast. And not a lot of people would have thought the Bucs could do that, but they are saying we're going to the air today, much like the Chiefs have been against this Bucs defense.
2nd and 9. Green down the seam. Gonzalez in traffic. What a catch! Tony Gonzalez, touchdown Kansas City.
I'll tell you, Tony Gonzalez had some fire in him, Gus, and he was mixing it up after that last play with Greg Spires. And he splits the seam, and we talked about where do you attack this, outside or right down the middle. There it is. As a linebacker, you got to get a deeper drop against Tony Gonzalez. You cannot let him split the seam on you. The Bucs know that. That's exactly what the defense is designed to do. Shelton Quarles, you got to get a drop.
Extra point up and good. Gonzalez 5 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown.
I'll tell you, you don't want to get the big tight end fired up. Greg Spires had hit him last play, and they were mixing it up on the field. And Tony Gonzalez went back to the huddle, and he probably said, hey, Trent, throw me the ball. And he was fired up and got right down that seam.
Tonight on CBS, the cast of Dallas is back in the biggest reunion special in TV history. Join Larry Hagman, Linda Gray, Patrick Duffy, and Victoria Principal for the Dallas Reunion Special tonight at 8 Central on CBS, America's most watched network.
Wow, the Dallas reunion is going to come back.
Choked up a little bit,
yeah. That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. You think I was going to let that one go?
Yeah, right.
No way.
Okay, that's all right. Turnabout is fair play.
Hey, I'm fired up. We had a tight end catch the ball down the seam on 2 deep. Now the classic Tampa 2, Gus, that everybody talks about, Tampa 2 is that the difference between that and a regular 2 is those linebackers turn and run at the snap of the ball down the field. So you can't get the tight end ahead of you like we just saw. Shelton Quarles leveled off. You can't do that against Tony Gonzalez. Those safeties aren't quick enough to get back inside. Heck of a throw by Trent Green. And what a grab. The big tight end going up. You see Shelton Quarles leveling off. Usually he's ahead of Tony Gonzalez. But you see the big man go up and get the ball, and the receivers for Trent Green have gone after. You see he's fired up. He's going for the spike. He's still mad about the Greg Spires incident.
Easy slam for Gonzalez. Trent Green is 17 of 20 for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. This one kicked on a line, picked up at the 30-yard line. And the Buccaneers get it all the way up to midfield. Greg Camella with 27 seconds left.
Well, a heads-up play by Greg Camella. The fullback able to grab that on the line drive and get it upfield.
Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS rocks when David Green and the Bulldogs try to stay on top as they tangle with Cadillac Williams and the SEC West champion Auburn Tigers. Let's take a look at the standings in the SEC East and West. Georgia, Auburn. Auburn perfect, 6-0, 9-0 overall in the conference. First down and 10 at midfield. Greasy with time to work. This ball thrown underneath. Juravicious with the catch at the 45. Tampa has 2 timeouts left as Juravicious picks up 5. And a timeout called by the Buccaneers.
And the Bucs, Gus, clearly trying to get into field goal position. They'd probably like to at least get down inside the 30-yard line, but probably only need, gosh, another 10 or 12 yards to legitimately have a field goal attempt by Martin Gramatica.
Martin Gramatica, his career long is 55 yards back in 2000 versus Detroit. Way back in college, he had a 65-yard field goal versus Northern Illinois. There's Martin, a native of Argentina. He's 11 of 15 this season. His brother Bill just got picked up by the Dolphins. And he's got a younger brother that's kicking in South Florida. 2nd and 5 at the 45. Greasy down the middle. Clayton with the catch, and they're in field goal range. With 13 seconds left, 18-yard pickup. Ryan Greasy looks like a Pro Bowler today. Wow, does he look good.
Boy, both these quarterbacks, Gus, have just been slinging it all day. Great accuracy, and once again going to the rook in crunch time. And I'm just blown away by seeing Michael Clayton.
Country music's biggest night is coming to CBS. Join superstars Tim McGraw, Gretchen Wilson, Faith Hill, Rascal Flatts, Shania Twain, and more. Brooks and Dunn host the Country Music Awards, live Tuesday at 8/7 Central on CBS. So Martin Gramatica is on the field. You don't want to take one more shot?
Well, you know, maybe you do, but you clearly can't afford two things. You can't afford a sack with no timeouts, and you can't afford an intentional grounding. That will kill you. And the Chiefs have shown a propensity to blitz in these tough situations. And so I think the smart move right now, without any timeouts, is to go ahead and kick this field goal.
So this field goal will be from 46 yards out. He's 1 of 4 from 40 to 49 yards out this year. He gets it down, up, I don't know. No good. Gramatica 1 of 5 between 40 and 49 yards.
Well, I think he just hooked it a little bit. You see that foot just come around a little bit. Got a little too much around side of the ball. And he is a little bit of a sidewinder. Sometimes if you're going to miss as a sidewinder, that's where you're going to miss. Pulling it left.
Dick Vermeil will take it. So the Chiefs will head into the locker room with a 24-21 lead. What a first half. Fireworks all over the field on a sunny day in Tampa. Trent Green and the Chiefs lead it 24-21. We'll be back with the next halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the National Football League on CBS Sports. With the 24-21 lead over the Buccaneers at halftime. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. And partner, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned shootout.
Yeah, you know, we talked at the top of the game. Well, maybe Tampa Bay doesn't want to get into a shootout with Kansas City, but clearly John Gruden and this Bucs offense said, hey, bring it on, and it has been a shootout thus far. I'm looking for a little bit more defense in the second half, but you never know.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half.
Yeah, you know, clearly everybody was making some big plays happen. Johnny Morton, Noah Cook, and then this great second effort, of course, by Michael Pittman getting into the end zone. And, of course, the Priest, he's always there. Nice play. Dilger outside, off no coverage. And then, of course, one tight end answers the other tight end with a big score right before half.
All right, the statistics from the first half. Let's take a look. 275 yards in total offense for the Chiefs.
Pretty impressive. And he goes back to the rushing yards. Clearly, Tampa hasn't even tried to run the ball against Kansas City other than a couple times. And they just said, we are going to go after their weakness, and that's the secondary. And you got to credit the offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers handling the blitz here more than a few times. But Gus, Brian Greasy and Trent Green and all the other things that are going on have had spectacular halves. Standing in there in the face of pressure, delivering the ball on the money. It's been a great offensive half. Not the greatest defensive half, though.
So we start the second half. Here's Cox picking it up, fumbling the football at the 9. And Cox somehow crawls his way to the 20-yard line. So here's a look at the fantasy notebook for all you fantasy league guys out there. Take a quick peek at how your guys are doing in this game. Trent Green
looking good. Brian Greasy both throw 2 touchdowns.
Priest Holmes down yardage-wise, but does have a touchdown. Pittman with a touchdown as well. And Tony Gonzalez, 5 catches, 62. Morton, 4 catches, 61. Clayton, a big first half, 3 catches, 83 yards. There's the young man out of LSU. First down and 10 at the 20. Play action, Greasy. Here's Clayton again on the bootleg, and Clayton this time is chopped down, picks up maybe 3 yards on the play. But William Barty was there, and the Chiefs were sitting on that little bootleg.
Yes, they were, and that was the play in the first half that Michael Clayton had that big run, got a block downfield, and went for 50-something yards. And just 3 yards that time, and we thought that we might see some more boot. Clearly the Kansas City Chiefs defense discussed that at halftime, and William Barty, nice job of staying home.
2nd down and 8 at the 22. Here's the pitch. Pittman following his blockers with the save. It's a foot race. Michael Pittman down the sideline. Pittman cuts it back. Touchdown Tampa. What a block by Kenyatta Walker.
And let's watch the big tackle on the right side. Watch him coming out. Big Kenyatta Walker. Bang! There's the kick out block. Looking inside. And watch the other block. Pittman. There's the lane. And he's off to the races. Watch Pittman sneak back inside here. He knows he's going to get run down. Does a great job of getting the angle.
Extra point up and good. Wow. What a football game, folks. 28-24. Buccaneers come out and punch the Chiefs right in the mouth. Hi, Mom is right for Michael Pittman. 78 yards, longest run in Buccaneers history. And he got some great help from his teammates. We'll show it to you in a moment. Line drive kick. This one picked up inside the 20. And once again, Chris Horn goes down at the 25. 28-24 Buccaneers. And the second half has just started.
Get yours. Red Lobster. Don't miss endless shrimp going on now only at Red Lobster. And by the all-new Toyota Tacoma. Now that's moving you forward.
And welcome back. 13:52 to go in the third quarter. Buccaneers with a 28-24 lead. Chiefs with the football now, 1st and 10 at their own 29. Gonzalez in motion. The handoff to Priest Holmes. And Holmes gets to the 31. Let's take a look, Brent, at the touchdown.
And Gus, a lot of intricacies to this play. Watch the block by Dilger. Watch the block inside by Clayton. He comes in, picks off a linebacker. Walker outside. And then Cook gets the big lead block. 4 big-time blocks allow Michael Pittman to get down the field. Look at the shot inside there. There's Walker. Here's Cook. And you see all those blocks. And that allows for Michael Pittman to get down the field. Big-time blocking by the offensive line and backs of the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Green over the middle. Gonzalez with the catch. Spins out of trouble. Still running. And the big tight end gets to the 43. Now let's go back to New York and Greg Gumbel for an update.
All right, Gus, the New York Jets, all they can handle at Buffalo today. Drew Bledsoe, 4 yards, corner of the end zone. Lee Evans, nice fingertip grab. 17-10 Bills. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the third. Gus and Brent, back to you.
All right, thank you. One more look at the AFC East, New England and the Jets, 2 top teams. 1st down and 10. Buffalo coming on, though. Willis McGahee in for Travis Henry, and he is turning out to be the running back in Buffalo. Spires with the tackle on Priest Holmes after a gain of 2.
It's unbelievable to think with all this offense that we've seen, Chiefs haven't really necessarily been relying on Priest Holmes as much as they have the last couple games. Spreading the ball all over the place. And you think that maybe they'll just go back. This Tampa defense has been on the field a while this game today. Maybe they just go back to pounding the ball.
Green pulls it down, looks to the sideline, Dunn the intended receiver. But Green throws that one a little short. And it brings up 3rd down and 8.
Boy, and this is where Tampa's defense can be really dangerous because they're coming after you. They're going to pin their ears back, and they're coming. And so you might not have time to complete the ball 10 yards, 9 yards downfield. Chiefs have done a nice job in the screen game this season, getting the ball to Priest Holmes.
Holmes and Richardson are in the backfield. Trent Green in the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Picked up to the sideline, broken up. Nicely done by Mario Edwards. Intended for Johnny Morton.
Mario Edwards coming back with a big stop. Was beat early in the game by Morton. You see that little hand checking going on outside. Johnny Morton, you're not supposed to have contact. I don't know. Looks like contact to me. If that's the point of emphasis, and we're going to call it after 5 yards. He said any contact, and that's what Morton's complaining about.
First punt of the game for Steve Cheek. This is Galloway, and he fumbles it out of bounds, catching that ball in the sun. A 43-yard punt. No return for Joey Galloway. 28-24. Tampa with the lead and the ball. (28-24) Tampa with the lead, and the football first and 10 at the 13. Flag on the play as Pittman runs over the right side.
Offside. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Here's a question for you, partner. Who would you pick as the NFL's mid-season MVP? A couple of good questions here. Tiki Barber, Tom Brady, well, good candidates. Dante Culpepper, Priest Holmes, Peyton Manning, Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, your former teammate. Cast your vote at NFL.com.
You know what, I'm going to have to say T.O. just because of what he's done there for the Eagles. I mean, having that go-to receiver has been not only impactful for the offense, but for Donovan McNabb as well.
And Pittman bottled up and taken down at the 15. Eric Warfield leading the way. So after all of the electricity in the first half and at the beginning of the third quarter, it looks like collectively these teams are kind of taking a breath right now.
Yeah, gosh, it's been a whole 2 or 3 minutes without any huge plays.
A loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 7 at the 16. Cook lines up as a wide receiver at the top of your screen. Greasy throwing. Pittman can't make the grab at the 20. He is wrapped up by Scott Fujita. And that brings up 3rd down and 7.
How about Eric Hicks getting some big pressure on Brian Greasy? And he had 5 pressures last week. We talked to Eric Hicks. Hit Peyton Manning several times, and he said, you know, our defense is coming along. You're not all the way there when you give up 500 yards. I said, hey, you know, the Colts do that to a lot of people. Unfortunately for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bucs don't do that to a lot of people, and they are today.
Greasy has this one batted at the line of scrimmage and goes down. So the Buccaneers come up empty and will have to punt it away. I believe it was Caver getting his hand in the passing lane. And it certainly was Quentin Caver, 4th year out of Arkansas. Getting up high. So Bidwell comes in to punt for the 2nd time. He's standing at his own 1-yard line. Low snap, handled, high, spiraling kick. Hall will get a chance as he backpedals and starts from the 26. Watch out, he gets to the corner and finally knocked out of bounds at the 42. And a late flag coming in on the play. A 59-yard punt and a 14-yard return.
When anytime Dante Hall touches that ball, you just kind of stop breathing.
During the return. Illegal block in the back. Number 42 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Shenard Hartz called for the illegal block. 10:05 to go, 3rd quarter, 4-point lead for Tampa. Welcome back, Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. Tampa, Florida, where the Buccaneers have exploded for 28 points on the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Chiefs have one of the great offenses in the league.
At the 30.
And they can explode at any time. First down, play action, Green. Over the middle, Gonzalez with the grab, and he picks up the first down, gain of 11. So let's look at the big picture, Brent.
What do you got, Gus, for your biggest surprise?
My surprise teams, the New York Football Giants. Tom Coughlin just criticized by every member of the media in New York. Marty Schottenheimer's Chargers. Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia today, and of course the Silver Rush.
Looks like Steve Urkel's surprises. Is that you?
Yes.
Nice picture. When is that?
First down, and you've been killing me all day. First down and 10
fun.
To the sideline, and that's Kennison. Now you've got some picks.
So did you say the New York Giants were your #1 surprise?
Well, they're one of the surprises.
Because Boomer said this morning on the NFL Today that was his biggest surprise.
Well, you've got it there too.
Well, I have it as #2 because San Diego Chargers, everybody thought was going to be the worst team in the NFL. They have been phenomenal. Of course, the Steelers doing great as well. Houston, my surprise team, and they are living up to it.
And that's actually a goofy-looking picture of you too.
You're right.
Well.
You're right.
When you were actually handsome.
That's not a good look.
Second down and 5 at the 48. Steelers winning right now, beating the Eagles, as Brett Gumbel told us. Trent Green. Intercepted. Dwight Smith. What a game for this young man from Detroit. He's come up with big play after big play. And that is a heartbreaker for Dick Vermeil. Flag on the play. A flag has been thrown. Maybe too much celebrating for the Bucs. Second turnover of the game.
And Gus, a great job by Dwight Smith of realizing it was a play fake and dropping back into the zone and getting into that throwing lane.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting after the play was over by the intercepting team. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot for the first down.
So Smith makes the interception, and then the Buccaneers are called for taunting. Smith having a terrific game on defense. That is the second turnover for the Chiefs, both forced by Smith, an interception, and he punched loose a fumble, stripping Eddie Kennison. Let's take another look at the interception.
And Gus, this is how you play defense. Now watch Dwight Smith. Watch him initially react, and he gets back. He hustles back into position into the throwing lane of Trent Green. Okay, he's thinking Priest Holmes. Now watch him get back into his back pedal. Great job into the zone, right into the throwing lane. Big time defense.
Second down and 1 at the 32. Play action, Greasy to the sideline. Great throw and catch. And to the 40-yard line, a flag on the play. Clayton with a 9-yard gain. Jerome Woods with the tackle.
And it looks like the officials are signaling face mask against Tampa Bay.
Personal foul, grasping a face mask. Offense number 80. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
Well, let's see. No, he's going to use the stiff arm.
Yeah, he did have a handful.
Now, you know what? Yeah, and he's yanking right now. You got to let go of that. And you see the pull down, the yank. If you get your hands up there in the stiff arm and it just inadvertently gets up there, a lot of times the officials won't call it. Or the worst you're going to get is a 5-yarder. But if you yank, hey, and Michael Clayton, he's not fooling around. He's not one of those wimpy wide receivers. He's trying to block D linemen. He's going face mask. He's crushing linebackers on a crackback. He's all over the field.
Second and 11 over the middle. That ball deflected, and Clayton was wide open. Wow.
Hey, and probably, Gus, what we call a little bit of a pick play, man-to-man coverage. And if that ball's not tipped, that is touchdown. Watch him come from outside into your screen. There's a pick out here, and there he is. It's one-on-one with the safety, and I'm betting on Michael Clayton.
Lionel Dalton got a hand on the football.
And that might be the biggest play of the game thus far for this Kansas City Chiefs defense. Lionel Dalton.
Dalton starting at right tackle today. John Browning moving over to right end. Jared Allen taken out of the starting lineup. 3rd down and 11 at the 22. Greasy looking backside for Galloway. Flag on the play. This will go against Kansas City.
Yep. 5 yards. We talked about it. Illegal contact after that 5-yard zone. You cannot touch the receiver.
Jerome Woods is down.
And weird deal with Jerome Woods going down. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
Pass interference. Defense number 26. Penalized at the spot of the foul. And a 1st down.
That's an 18-yard penalty called on Julian Battle.
Yeah, no, they went back and called pass interference, Gus, because they thought the ball was in the air. I actually thought the penalty had occurred prior. 5-yard chuck zones Joey Galloway, and he's got him. He's holding him right there, and that ball, now it's being thrown. And let's watch what happens.
Jerome.
You see Battle just lay out there.
And I believe Jerome Woods, they've gotten the wind knocked out of him. He may have also fallen on the football.
And usually that's what it is. And Woods making a great effort once again, laying out, and that's a lot of that time. That ball just, it's brutal, knocks your wind out. And looks like Woods is up and getting to the sidelines, which is a good sign.
A little woozy for Jerome. 9th year out of Memphis. So Woods is up on his feet. Looks like he'll be okay and able to play.
Yeah. If there's not a whole mess of trainers around him, that means he'll probably get back in.
Kansas City with 8 penalties this afternoon for 78 yards. 1st down and 10. Tampa at their own 40. Greasy out of the backfield, incomplete. Dilger, the intended receiver. Thursday on Survivor, now that the men are outnumbered, can they break up the female alliance? The battle of the sexes heats up on TV's most watched reality show. Don't miss a new Survivor Thursday at 8/7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. Brian Greasy, the numbers, 16 of 26, 225, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This season, he's completed over 70% of his passes. 2nd and 10. Greasy scrambling out of the pocket with time, looks backside, and throws it out of bounds. He had Joe Juravicius cutting across the field, just couldn't find him. Or either he elected not to throw it.
Yeah, and probably that, Gus. And I think one of the great things about Brian Greasy, he's certainly not trying to force any throws today. We've seen him throw the ball away a couple times. And if you don't have something, you don't want to take a chance right now. And he's been pretty darn accurate other than when he's thrown that ball away. You don't want to just lay one up back across field because those can be picked easily.
3rd down and 10 at the 40. They need to go to midfield for a 1st down. Bucs are 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Kansas City showing blitz. Here they come. And a whistle.
False start. Number 8, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So that's Greasy. Called for the false start.
3rd down, 15.
Pulling out a little early, partner.
I don't know. Didn't see it there, Gus, but, you know, I'm not down on the field.
3rd down and 15 at the 35. They need to go to midfield for a 1st down. Greasy, shovel pass, Pittman. Didn't fool anybody. Pittman gets to the 42. Stopped on the play by Ryan Sims after a 6-yard gain.
You see the Bucs with a little trickery attempt, trying to go shovel, and he got past the first layer, but the second layer The linebackers are there to converge. And a big stop by the Chiefs defense.
So Bidwell comes in to punt it from the 26. Dante Hall at the 11. High wobbly kick. Hall signals for the fair catch. And it's fair caught at the 20. A 41-yard punt. 28-24, Tampa Bay. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York for an NFL update.
All right, Gus, the Oakland Raiders trying to snap that 13-game road losing streak. The Panthers have crept to within 3. Amos Zaraway gets some back. 7 yards and a touchdown. It's now a 10-point Raider lead. 24-14. 9 minutes to play in the fourth, guys.
All right, so Amos Zaraway finding a home in Oakland after spending his entire career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Injured player on the field, Brian Kelly, and now John Gruden is out there. And like Vermeil, Gruden is another coach that cares an awful lot about his teammate, that Corey Ivy. So there's John Gruden, the golden boy of the NFL. Tell the story about you and Coach Gruden when Coach used to
he wasn't
work
Coach
with the 49ers. What was he back then?
He was Mike Holmgren's gopher back in 1990. In fact, most of the guys on the team didn't even know him. But he was my age, great, sharp kid, loved talking to him. Steve Young and I hung around with him, and he actually was in charge of, this was before computers, personal computers became a big deal. John Gruden was in charge of putting our game plan on computer, and it was a challenge then. And he didn't know anything about computers, but he wasn't going to tell anybody. So he hired some guy from Microsoft to come in like at 4 in the morning and teach him how to work on the computer. And, you know, he's been a classic ever since, and unfortunately, he left, and we've needed him ever since back there in San Francisco. But, you know, you always hear this stuff all the time about how he's on the road, he's working at 3 in the morning, he's doing this, that, and the other thing. So one of my East Coast trips a couple years ago when he was in Oakland, I called him. 6 a.m. I was on the East Coast. I said, I'm going to see if Gruden's in his office. Darn if he doesn't pick up the phone at 3 a.m.
Wow. First down. Holmes. And Priest gets to the 21, a pickup of 1. Next weekend, the Shark welcomes Mark Calcavecchia, John Daly, Justin Leonard, Mark O'Mara, and many more to the Franklin Templeton Shootout. Beautiful day here in Tampa. Sellout 65,000 in attendance. One of the great stadiums in the National Football League, and some of the best fans as well. Watching the Buccaneers play an awesome football game right now, leading 28-24. 2nd and 9 at the 21. Green over the middle. Gonzalez, the All-Pro, gets to the 26. A 6-yard gain. Gold with the reception. And Brent, as a former tight end, you must really appreciate what Tony Gonzalez has been able to do at that position.
Oh, certainly, and had a chance to watch him in the Bay Area at the University of California and watch him play basketball as well. And you see those catches, and just a phenomenal job. He's actually been working on his blocking as well. Priest Holmes told us, hey, he's discovered this new thing called blocking. But no, Tony is the best in the league right now.
Ball caught. What a catch. Here we go again. Horn. And he gets to the 40. First down. Chris Horn on a little slant. He goes 30 yards.
And what a weird reaction. It looked like the Tampa Bay defense was just jogging off after Chris Horn. I didn't think he caught the ball initially. Watch the reaction. Everybody just kind of standing around, and then, oh my gosh, he got the ball. Turn it on. And you see Chris Horn use his body to shield it from the defender, and then he keeps going.
First catch of the day for Horn. First down and 10 at the 43. Priest Holmes with running room. Oh, he's tripped up and gets down at the 30. Jermaine Phillips sent him airborne after a 13-yard pickup.
And Gus, everybody's always talking about head coach or offensive line coach Mike Solari's offensive lineman, but watch Jason Dunn, the tight end, and he is just doing a spectacular job. And like we said, one of the top blocking tight ends in the league.
Dunn is number 89. Couldn't see him on that play. Holmes, such a tough man. 16 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Larry Johnson replaces him. Play action. Green looking. Green up top. Gonzalez got it, but he may have pushed off.
Yeah, you know what, you guys, and I think you're right. I actually thought there was some contact, but it looked like Tony was initiating the contact. Be interesting to see which way this one goes. Good call, partner. You saw that. You're all over it. In fact, Trent Green was looking, staring down Tony Gonzalez the whole way. He was going to throw it. Let his big tight end go up and make a play. Now, the question is, did contact happen initially before Tony pushed off?
Illegal contact. Defense number 20.
Wow.
Penalties declined. The play results in a first down.
That's Rondé Barber.
Yeah, and I don't think Rondé Barber thinks that's the way it should have gone. Let's watch Tony Gonzalez right down here, one-on-one against Rondé Barber. He's going to take him inside, go back out, and you see he's actually pushing right there. Gosh, I don't know. You know I'm always in favor of the offensive guy and the tight end. And here's the grab. You got to give Trent Green credit, stayed with his big tight end. Anytime one player's covering him, he said, hey, I'm going to throw it up to the big guy.
So a timeout called by the Chiefs with 3:41 to play in the third quarter. 28-24. Tony Gonzalez having a huge game. His 12th 100-yard game. 9 catches, 123 yards today, and a touchdown, and that is his 12th 100-yard game of his career. So the Chiefs, for them, this is such an important game to improve to 500, because following this game, they're at New Orleans, home to take on New England, and then San Diego, Oakland, and Tennessee.
Yeah, you know what, the Chiefs, you know, they clearly have their backs up against the wall because of that tough start. But the Bucs are in that same position. You can just feel the intensity of this game today. Usually a game week 9 like this doesn't have the absolute intensity. We've seen injured guys. We've seen guys flying around, big plays all over the place. Clearly both these teams are in a must-win situation today.
John Gruden looking on. Larry Johnson in the game for Priest Holmes in the I formation. Here's Johnson trying to get in. Does he? Yeah. No, he doesn't. His knee was down prior to crossing the goal line. Brooks with the tackle.
And let's check this out. We'll be able to see. Watch when Larry Johnson's knee hit. Strings it out. Let's see. Knee down. There's the ball. Great call by the officials right on top of it.
Second down and goal at the 1. Johnson remains in the game. Straight ahead. And he doesn't get in. He does not get in.
Stop short of the goal line.
Boy, you know, and Larry
John Howell with a push.
And Larry Johnson has to start delivering the blow down there. And you see Priest Holmes.
He must be hurt.
On the sideline.
Priest must be hurt.
Boy, Larry Johnson, don't let the defenders take the blow to you. You got to keep those legs moving. Initially stop right there. Turn those legs. He gets the shot right here. And gets shoved right down inside by John Howell.
So here we go. Third down and goal at the 1. Johnson still in there. Play action. Green scrambling. Back of the end zone. Touchdown done. Tony Gonzalez was the decoy.
Absolutely. Get a couple guys go with Gonzalez, sneak your second tight end out into the end zone, and that's clearly not a point of focus for defense. And let's watch Jason Dunn. You see him out here. He's blocking initially. Great job of selling the run. Linebackers flow, safeties flow, and then he just sneaks right out into the vacated spot by the linebackers. Trent Green sees him and puts it right on the money.
Third touchdown for Green today. Extra point is good. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And we've got a 31-28 game. Wow. Trent Green.
Boy, and you know what's amazing, Gus? Actually, two things. That Tampa Bay came out with the shootout mindset, and the fact that Kansas City's been able to pull this off without a majority of Priest Holmes. I mean, he had 45 yards going into this last series on 15 rushes. That isn't exactly a huge day for the Priest.
So Dunn with his third receiving touchdown of the year, and Trent Green is already over 300 yards, and you see the coaches talking to Priest Holmes.
Boy, and you know what? Priest was beat up coming into this game, and he had a hip pointer, and he had shots all over his body that he'd been taking. He's just a man's man out there, and you know, if there's any way that he can be on the field, he will be.
So Trent Green, 15 300-yard games in his career. That's most in team history. Tied with Bill Kenny. Lynn Dawson with 9, and Elvis had 7. And that's in the history of the great Kansas City Chiefs. What a career it's been for Trent Green. Came so close in St. Louis. Injured himself during the preseason. Ended up being the odd man out. Now he's in Kansas City, playing like an all-star. And don't forget, the 2-hour premiere of The Amazing Race takes place Tuesday, November 16th, 9/8 Central on CBS. That's The Amazing Race, when 11 new teams journey around the world. Gotta see what happens along the way.
Well, if you're the Tampa Bay Bucs, you got to stick to the air, right? Make sure you're protected against that blitz, and if you're the Chiefs defense, you got to start figuring out a way to get pressure on Brian Griese.
First down and 10 at the 20 for Brian Griese. Here's the pitch. Pittman with a blocker, and Pittman is wrestled down at the 25. Kawika Mitchell just grabbing him after 5-yard pickup. But we talked to Michael Pittman on Friday out at the Bucs facility. And you take a listen to this regular speed.
And I'm impressed with Michael Pittman. This is the first time I've seen him in person, seen him on film, and tough runner. And clearly the Bucs happy to have him back and in the flow.
Here's Pittman again. Pittman gets positive yards up to the 32. And as I mentioned, it was interesting to talk to Pittman the other day at the Bucs training facility. Here's a guy that is in love with working out and lifting weights as he picks up his second straight 100-yard game. He told me, Brent, that he bench presses 465 pounds as a max. And Michael Pittman is 6 feet tall.
That's a ton of weight.
That's a lot of,
and you believe him. And you can see the strength inside, and I bet he squats a heck of a lot as well, because he's got strong legs, clearly delivering the blow, running over defenders as he goes.
6 career 100-yard games now for Pittman.
Boy, watch Michael Clayton.
Inside, incomplete, flag on the play. Fujita may be called for illegal contact. Dilger, the intended receiver.
And Gus, they had single coverage down below, no safety, cheating towards Michael Clayton's side.
Pass interference. Defense number 51. Penalized at the spot of the foul, and a first down.
And you see the replay, everybody running slants, contact before the ball's delivered. And you know, it's interesting just going through this Chiefs defense. We talked about coming into the game how their rush defense had improved, but Michael Pittman and the Tampa Bay offensive line has been carving them up.
Both teams heavily penalized. Play action, Griese again. Looking, and it's caught between 2 defenders. I think that's Dilger in traffic. It is. Caver with the tackle after 5-yard pickup. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 31-28.
And how about Brian Griese?
Man, I'm just so happy for this young man. We saw him a few years ago in Denver, and tell you what, The Brian Griese that we saw a few years ago in Denver and the one we saw on Friday is just a totally different human being. He looked calm and relaxed and positive and confident. He was the antithesis of that a few years back. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 31-28 Kansas City. Welcome back. A look at the scoring by quarters. Both teams lighting it up in the second quarter. Michael Pittman running outside. Pittman lowers his shoulder and delivers a lick at the 40-yard line. He's not running out of bounds.
No, he's not.
Jerome Woods with the tackle.
I like this young man. He's getting his chance to get his life back in order and make an impact on the field. And look at this guy. You see him throw that bow? He could have easily just stepped out of bounds and said, okay, no way. I'm hunting defenders.
I guess Michael says, I'm not lifting all those weights for nothing.
That's right. I'm not going to lift 465 to step out of bounds.
First down and 10 at the 40. Griese. Over the middle, Jurevicius with the grab. Jurevicius smacking Kansas City. He just smacked Derrick Warfield. And right now, the Buccaneers are trying to chunk Kansas City.
Boy, I'm telling you, the one thing that I notice about Kansas City is their defensive backs are just too tentative. You can't let a receiver do this to you. Pound the guy. What are you trying to push him out of bounds? Joe Jurevicius just pounding you down the field, makes the catch, tackle him. And that, you know, that's one soft spot on this Kansas City team, and people continue to focus on it.
23-yard gain for Jurevicius. First and 10 at the Chiefs 17. Griese underneath, and this ball caught once again. Charles Lee, who's hog-tied by Caver, but he picks up 7.
And Caver with a nice tackle against Charles Lee, because there was some room to run inside. The old pull the jersey down trick. Those always look better than they actually they are. The collar tackle.
So a look at the total yards, 390 for Tampa. These teams even. Second and 3 at the 10. And it's Pittman. This time he goes backwards. Freddie Jones in on the play.
Well, we've seen
Jared, that Ernest Graham running the football.
And we've seen Jared Allen from the defensive line of the Chiefs make a few big penetrations today. He's been in the backfield more than a few times, but this whole defense for the Kansas City Chiefs clearly needs to get in sync, and it hasn't happened today.
Third down, 2 at the 9. Bucs 2 of 6 on third down conversion. And Griese calls a timeout. 2 timeouts remaining for the Buccaneers. 31-28 KC. Looking for free fantasy football? You can experience all the thrilling action and intense competition with NFL fourth quarter fantasy. Sign up today by clicking on fantasy at cbssportsline.com. Griese with the play fake to the sideline, and that ball caught by Cook. Jameel Cook is having such a solid game.
Yes, he is. Come up with some big catches. And, you know, it's so impressive the play before where Brian Griese called timeout. He had his wide receiver in motion, and he calls timeout. Most guys in that situation just say, hey, I'm running the play. We'll see what happens. What a great sign of maturity. Call the timeout, go to the sideline, get the play that's going to get the first down.
First down and goal. 32 passes for Tampa. At the 3-yard line. Here's Pittman bouncing it outside. Touchdown! Michael Pittman. His third rushing touchdown of the game.
I'll tell you, the Chiefs are going to have to figure out a way to start tackling. Watch Michael Pittman gets a block outside and just dives for that big cone, the pylon, and got to be so impressed, Gus, with Michael Pittman and his efforts out there on the field today.
Snap back, Gramatica hooks it. Uh-oh.
Boy, 4 instead of 3, Gus.
Wow.
3 instead of 4 is huge.
You can only shake your head to that one, but Michael Pittman with his 3rd rushing touchdown, 34-31. Now, Martin Gramatica misses only the 2nd extra point of his career at the 11:50 mark of the 4th quarter, and instead of a 4-point game, we've got a 3-point game. He was 168 of 169 coming into this game. Hall at the 10. And Dante Hall. Will Allen could be the biggest play of the game and missed extra point. Dave Moore, the long snapper, snapping it high. Josh Bidwell tried his best, but Gramatica hooks it, and we've got a 3-point game. 34-31. Here's the news on Priest Holmes. He has a knee contusion. His return is questionable, so Larry Johnson on your left will get the bulk of the carries. 1st and 10. Play action. Green over the middle. And it's caught by Johnson. He's wrapped up at the 36, a 3-yard pickup. Derrick Brooks brings him down.
Boy, Gus, a huge difference in the game without a Priest Holmes in there. All of a sudden your play action isn't as effective. Bucs won't be jumping that. They're going to be thinking pass, and I think right now the Kansas City Chiefs would be thinking that if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to do it through the air.
2nd and 7. Drop play. Johnson with running room, and he picks up the 1st down. Chiefs keeping him off balance. Gain of 11. Brooks with the tackle once again. Al Saunders, the offensive coordinator, has been having a spectacular few weeks.
A nice little draw action here, and you see the hole created inside right there, and Larry Johnson does a nice job of bouncing it out, comes back around. And clearly Tampa Bay, they're not going to be focused on Larry Johnson, so if the Chiefs want to keep trying him, maybe get him out in the passing game as well, Bucs are thinking the wideouts and Tony Gonzalez right now.
1st down and 10. Morton with the grab, and Morton is ridden out of bounds after picking up 5. Brian Kelly pushing him out of bounds. And look at the total yards, folks. They are really racking it up. 408 to 400. And this looks like one of those games where the last team to have the ball is going to win.
Well, it's surprising from the standpoint of Kansas City. Everybody knew that their offense was great, but they thought that they'd hit a speed bump this week against Tampa Bay. And how about Tampa Bay's offense coming on strong?
2nd and 5 at the 48. Drop play. Johnson again. And Johnson takes it to the 44, picks up 3 yards. Darby with the tackle.
You know, I guess we saw that the play before to the Larry Johnson play where Johnny Morton caught that quick little hitch route. And I'm just wondering, I know these Bucs defensive backs really like to jump routes. And I'm wondering if we're not going to see a double move route, maybe a little pump fake from Trent Green and see him go up top here before this game's over.
Watch Chris Horn at the bottom of your screen at receiver. In motion now. Green throws it out. That's Johnson. And Johnson out of bounds at the 37. Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson have a little bit more speed, I think, than Jermaine Phillips, the safety, thought. It looked like he had the angle, but Johnson just turned the corner, got the 1st down.
Last 3 games for the Chiefs, 141 points, 1,543 total yards.
Jeez.
Now Johnson breaks it back and is taken down. 2-yard pickup. Gold with the tackle. And Larry Johnson, interesting story, 2nd year out of Penn State. He was complaining earlier during the year about playing time, and I find that ironic, especially when you're backing up one of the greats in the league like Priest Holmes. And Coach Vermeil, I think, issued some kind of statement about Pampers or diapers.
No,
or
it's
something
time to take off the diapers, and that's a young guy that hasn't played and whining. Hey, it's the NFL. You got to be tough in this league. It looks like Larry's up to pull-ups now.
Here's Green. Throws, and it's gone out of bounds. Eddie Kennison running a nice route, and Green has been so tough in the pocket, waiting to the last possible second to throw the football.
Yeah, and he's just been so methodical and just realizing, you see him looking left, coming back right, going through his progressions, just about to get hit and lays it out there. And Kennison, nice job of coming back for the ball. But both these quarterbacks have stood strong in the pocket all day. But Trent Green, you just have to be so impressed with his throws in the face of pressure.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Johnson back in the game. They fake the draw. Green running and incomplete. Flag on the play.
And you know what, Gus, I don't know. I think he's out of that tackle box. He's out of the pocket, and that's what the officials are discussing right now. Was he outside the tackle? If he was, he can throw it away if he attempts to throw it up towards the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 10.
Boy, and I think he was trying to get it.
And a loss of down.
He might have been trying to get it to Larry Johnson. Here's the tackle right here. Oh, no, I think he's out. I think he's out of the tackle box. And we see that scribble line that moved. But he was on the right hash. And so he's outside the left hash. And it's a judgment call by the officiating crew that Trent Green thought he had gotten beyond the tackle box, the quarterback pocket. And that's a tough grounding call at this point.
So instead of having the ball at the 23, Chiefs have it at the 35. 2nd and 22. Green dumps it off. Johnson. And Johnson picks up 12 yards. Ian Gold with the tackle. Here's an opportunity for Johnson. He complained earlier during the season about playing time. Now with Priest Holmes on the sideline because of a knee contusion, this second-year player is going to get plenty of opportunity. Goes out of the game right now, though. Richardson in the backfield, along with Gonzalez. 3rd and 10 at the 23. Remember that missed extra point. Green going up top, incomplete, flag.
Boy, I think they're going to get a hold, and they're going to call Jason Dunn, it looks like, the big tight end.
Holding. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
And a 1st down.
Dwayne White
Going the other way. And John Gruden can't believe it. How are you calling that? That's what he's saying. Hey! Boy, you know what, Gus, I didn't see it. I just saw it thrown in the vicinity. And I know Jason Dunn looked really frustrated. Wow, big 1st down.
at the 18. Johnson running outside, can't turn the corner, and he is held up and taken down by Rondé Barber. A loss of 4.
Rondé Barber.
Terrific play by the Tampa defense. Barber stringing the play out and just hanging on for dear life until his teammates came to help him. That brings up 2nd down and 14 at the 22. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Here comes a blitz. Picked up. Green steps up in the end zone. Picked up! Phillips! 3rd turnover of the day for the Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs shoot themselves in the foot.
Boy, and I Trent Green wasn't thinking that Tony Gonzalez was going to come further in. Looked like he threw it where he wanted to.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And by Michelob Amber Bock, rich and smooth.
34-31, Tampa with the lead and the ball after the Phillips interception. Looks like there was some miscommunication on the part of the Chiefs offense. 1st and 10 at the 20. Greasy, Dilger wide open. Dilger at the 40. And there's that bootleg again. He picks up 24. Woods with the tackle.
And Gus, let's go back to that interception. You're going to see Derrick Brooks actually get a piece of Trent Green's arm, which actually changes the flight of the ball. You're going to actually see Trent Green. Look at his line of sight. It's going that way. He's looking at Tony Gonzalez. Watch where the ball ends up going. It ends up going straight down the middle of the field. Derrick Brooks at the last second nails him, and you see the ball take the trajectory this way instead of that way.
1st and 10 at the 44. Pittman on the pitch. And Pittman gets to the 46, maybe the 47. Eric Hicks with the tackle, but right now, with 4:55 to go in the 4th quarter, each team with 2 timeouts left, the Kansas City defense has to step up and get a stop. Trent Green, 2 interceptions in his last 12 pass attempts.
Yeah, and you know, we thought there was initially some miscommunication, but clearly it was Derrick Brooks coming through and getting that arm and misdirecting that ball.
2nd down and 7 at the 47. Greasy, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. A lot of pressure being applied by the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs are coming, Gus, with the blitz, and you said they've got to make a stop. Well, that's the best way to try to get in there and get pressure on Brian Greasy. Got to bring some extra men on the blitz. And now your corners have to hold up. You've got to actually be physical at the line of scrimmage. Don't give too much cushion here on 3rd and 7. You've got to misdirect the wide receivers, and you've got to hope that you get pressure in Brian Greasy's face.
The 46-yard line is where the Bucs need to go. They've been successful with that little bootleg action. Here comes a corner blitz. Greasy with time, and he's sacked. Terrific. Fujita brings him down. The first sack of the day by the Chiefs.
Boy, and John Gruden saying, did you see how open Charles Lee was? Running a little bit of a scissors route is what they call it in the West Coast offense. Outside, these 2 guys are going to crisscross. Watch Charles Lee. His man's going to get picked. He's going to come wide open. And you talk about the pressure. Looked like Greasy was looking there initially, and then the pressure in his face. Watch Charles Lee come wide open. There's nobody there. He's got his arms up too late.
So Tampa will punt it away. Bidwell at the 25. Dante Hall stands at the 14. Hall takes a step up, and he allows it to take a bounce at the 19-yard line. 42-yard punt. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 is providing today's aerial coverage of the game below. The Blimp travels over 60,000 miles a year to cover sporting events and television specials throughout the United States. Look for the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 as they team up with CBS later this year. 3:42 to go in the 4th quarter. Chiefs, the most dangerous offense currently in the NFL. Down by 3.
And still no Priest Holmes.
And no Priest Holmes. And that still makes you think about that missed extra point by Martin Gramatica at the 11-minute mark of the quarter. Over the middle. Morton with the grab. Taken down quickly. Rondé Barber doesn't let him get out of his sight. And Morton and Barber with some words.
Yeah, now's not the time to have words. And Johnny Morton, just get back to the huddle, you know. Time's ticking away. You don't need to take an extra 10 seconds off the clock by trash talking right now. Your team needs a score. And guess one of the advantages now, no Priest Holmes in the game. Linebackers for the Bucs can take deeper drops. They don't have to worry about Priest. Safeties can focus more on receivers instead of coming up on the run.
2nd and 7. Johnson with running room, dives forward, crosses the 25 to the 26. A 4-yard gain. Greg Spires with the trip up, but that's the difference between Johnson and Holmes, because Priest Holmes breaks that tackle.
Absolutely, and that's the difference. And Gus, right now, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. I think this is 4-down territory for this Kansas City offense. Only 2 timeouts left, and I don't know if I'd punt it away and put it in the hands of your defense now. Got to be thinking 2 plays to get these 4 yards.
3rd down. They need 3. Johnson with the catch and the 1st down, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 40. Flag on the play late. This may be a late hit. 15-yard gain. Will Allen knocks him out of bounds.
Boy, you know, John Gruden is screaming on the sidelines. He's yelling for a pick. He thought his player got picked. And Larry Johnson, Gus, actually doing a nice job to hang on to that ball. Eddie Kennison got right in his way.
5 yards only. Defense number 23. Penalized 5 yards from the end of the run.
Jermaine Phillips.
1st down.
Jermaine Phillips called for the 5-yard face mask. And look at the penalties today. Both teams closing in on 100 yards.
And very aggressive plays. And there's the face mask, and you know, when the head turns like that, you get the handoff quickly, they'll only call you for 5.
1st down and 10 at the 46. Here comes a blitz. Johnson breaks it back and gets close to midfield. Gains 3 yards.
And partner, you call that missed extra point. Where do the Chiefs want to get? They want to get probably inside the 35. You know, in a perfect world, down by the 30 to put it into makeable position.
Green again, wide open, and that's Kennison, who's dropped at the 45-yard line. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. A 6-yard pickup. Kelly with the tackle. 1:57 to go. 34-31. Network. 34-31. Tampa with the lead. Chiefs faced with a 3rd down and 1 at the Tampa 45. Here's the handoff. Johnson straight ahead and gets the 1st down. Greg Spires brings him down. A missed extra point allows the Chiefs to only be down by 3, as Martin Gramatica missed it at the 11:50 mark of the 4th quarter. So with that in mind, Brent, where does Lawrence Tynes need to be to attempt a field goal?
He was kicking him in pregame from 52 yards. Clearly had the leg, the distance. It's all about getting it between the pipes.
So he needs to get to about the 32.
Actually, you know, he can kick it from probably the 35, 36, 37 if they needed to. Clearly, that makes it a pretty darn long kick, and he has to drive it and keep it lower, and it gives you an opportunity to block it. So you'd like to get at least down to the 30 to give him a chance to kick a makeable field goal.
1st down and 10 at the 43. Recovered by the Chiefs. That's Rondé Barber stripping the football. Barber with 15 career sacks. He's excellent on the blitz for the Buccaneers.
Boy, and Trent Green was looking for his big tight end down the seam, and he had him. What a big strip. And how about Will Shields? That could be the most important fumble recovery of the season.
Green down the seam again. Make it the sideline. Incomplete. Kennison, the intended receiver, and Simeon Rice drilling Trent Green. That'll make it 3rd and 17.
And let's go back to this last play, and he's looking for Tony Gonzalez, and you see miscommunication. There's the seam. Here's Tony Gonzalez looking pretty darn wide open, and that's where Trent Green was going before he got drilled. A great alertness by Will Shields to recover that ball and keep the Chiefs team in the game.
3rd down and 17 at midfield. They need to go to the 32.5 for a first down. Green steps up in the pocket, pumps, lets it go, and it's stripped again. This time, Simeon Rice knocks the football loose, and the Buccaneers recover.
And Gus, we're inside 2 minutes. That's going to be reviewed upstairs, and I think that, at least from up here, I haven't seen the replay. I thought Trent Green's arm was going forward. We know the tuck rule. Watch it when he gets out. Now he's not a running back till he crosses the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that's going to be an incomplete pass. He was throwing the ball, arm going forward, not across the line of scrimmage. So the Chiefs will get the ball back after this is reviewed and have a 4th down. You know, one of the problems is they've already moved the change. I hope they kept the marks. They might have to go back and review everything because they already have the ball going the other way. The chain gang has already moved. A little premature here in Tampa.
So now this play will be reviewed inside 2 minutes.
The play is being reviewed.
Yep. And once his arm starts forward, Gus, and he's not a running back, remember, till he crosses that line of scrimmage. And so he clearly, at that point, is still a thrower, and that arm starts forward and gets knocked out. It's an incomplete pass.
Looked to me like that arm was going forward.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Simeon Rice hasn't had a sack today, but he's caused a lot of problems in the Kansas City backfield.
The play is being reviewed to confirm that the ball was fumbled and was not a forward pass.
Here's Simeon.
Trent Green clearly trying to throw that ball.
And even if this play is overturned, the Chiefs will be faced with a 3rd down, making a 4th down and 17. The ball should be spotted at midfield.
That's right. They're just going to have to change all the yard markers again.
And they'll have to get to about the 32.5-yard line.
So actually, benefit right now for the Chiefs that it was ruled a fumble because they get all the time on the sideline and in the huddle to discuss what their next offensive play is going to be. Now, I'd have the whole Chief offense together huddled up on the sideline. It's going to be 4th down. I think they're going to get a chance to go back out there. We got the offense spread all over the place. They need to huddle them up on the sideline. Where is everybody?
I think they know when to come back into the game.
Yeah, well, to be able to have the whole team on the sideline discussing what we want from this next play, how many yards, we're going to have to pick up 17 yards, what we're going to need from the offensive line to block, and we're going to have check this and check that. Somebody's going to have blitz protection, backs here, backs there. I'd just take this extended time to huddle up the offense.
Well, you got a couple of the offensive linemen on the field right now. Will Shields is out there on the field, as well as Casey Wegman.
It's a free huddle up. You guys, going back to the rule, once that quarterback's arm starts forward, it is an incomplete pass, even if it gets knocked out. We know that from the tuck rule. Famous Tom Brady play against the Raiders in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was going forward, and the ball came out. Therefore, it is a forward pass. It is an incomplete pass. Please reset the game clock to 1:15. Thank you. Makes it 4th down.
The game appeared to be over after Raiders quarterback Charles Woodson blindsided Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. Greg Biekert recovered the apparent fumble with the Raiders ahead 13-10 with just 1:43 left. That was the big tough rule play. But right now, we're faced with a 4th and 17 at midfield for the Chiefs. Johnson goes to the top of your screen at wide receiver. Dante Hall is at the bottom. Tony Gonzalez is in the slot at the bottom. Here's Green, empty backfield. Green in trouble, and he goes down, and that'll do it. Dwayne White with the sack.
Wow. And Gus, 3-man rush. And you know what? That is exactly why I say you use that extra time, huddle up the offense. Everybody get on the same page. Everybody was everywhere. 3-man rush. No way those guys get to your quarterback. Just flat out, no way. And you can see, Gus, the Kansas City offense just changed completely, drastically, with the Priest Holmes on the sidelines.
Kansas City with 1 timeout remaining. Brian Griese takes a knee, and what a day it's been for Griese. 22 of 34, 296. Griese has found a home in Tampa.
Well, the Tampa Bay Bucs said that they wanted to go toe-to-toe, go into the shootout, and they came out on top.
Tim Brown's streak will come to an end. 179 straight games with the catch. So both Tim Brown and Jerry Rice's consecutive game streaks of at least 1 catch all come to an end this year.
We've done both of those games.
With bad luck.
Where's Marshall Faulk? He's next on the list. We got a St. Louis game coming up.
John Gruden told us on Friday, we're not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs at all. They've won 2 of 3. We've won 2 of 3. They've got the great offense. We've got the world famous, and I'm quoting him, the world famous Tampa 2 defense. And we're going to run the football and play our game.
Well, all the above, but you fell for the old run the football thing.
Yeah, I did.
That didn't happen. They threw the football.
Well, actually, they did run the football.
Oh, they did. Michael Pittman did run.
128
That's not too bad for not running a whole lot.
Boom.
They attacked that secondary, though. You got to give the Bucs credit.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull off a big one. 34-31. Don't forget, game 2 coming up. Some of you will see New England at St. Louis, others Houston at Denver. 34-31. Tampa goes on to win it, and they somehow manage to slow down the Chiefs. So for Brent Jones, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Raymond James Stadium. 34-31 the final. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.